Hello, everybody, and welcome to Embers of the Wild. How are you all doing today? We got a good show for you. We've got some necromancers. We've got some draconians. We've got like a whole forest to the north and a missing city with maybe a wizard and maybe some Tyrannosaurus Rexes. We've got trout druids. We've got water elementals and mysterious caves with weird amounts of magic. We got maybe a friendly dragon who wants to eat people, but like only the bad people. We got all sorts of stuff going on here, and we have lots
to eat
of cats.
too. So,
everyone's got to eat.
Wait, so you said necromancers plural?
That was just a verbal typo. Don't worry about it. It's just one.
It's fine.
It's
always fine.
Okay,
it's always never not fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm hoping the mention of Trout means we get to see him again soon. I miss that boy.
It was a long time
He
ago.
always hardly know him.
That's how he stays alive, is he doesn't get to know anyone.
I know. He never sticks around. He's just.
I mean,
God, something might be
say
dangerous. Time to run. So, where did we leave off? What was the last thing we did? Ashley?
Yes. So we had gone south to trade with Kalala. Did some good trades down there. Then we went out east to the Bone Tower. Had some fun experiences with Bones and Kyra staying back to be the tank, but then everyone else rushing in. It was a good time. Perfect experience, 10 out of 10.
You're not salty about that? Or
Not salty at all.
Okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Then we came home. Yeah.
See, it worked out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Everything's always fine.
There was just a misunderstanding with his guards on the bridge, right? He was, Stuka was nice, right?
I don't know. I don't like his vibes.
He did seem surprised that they attacked us, so...
He was so friendly. Once you actually got to talk to him.
Not creeping at all. Totally normal person.
Some people are just, they admit the, like, I'm kind of creepy, but once you get to know them, they're actually fine. They just don't know how to present themselves. They're just, like, really socially awkward, and they don't intend to be creepy, but they just give off that feeling,
Like
Yeah,
people who are
that's
really
sad
into metal
when that happens.
are always like really nice when you get to know them.
Yeah.
But they have this like scary exterior, like edgy music.
I bet that's Stuka. I bet Stuka likes metal. That's such a necromancer thing. Like, wow, cliche, bro.
Wow, way to judge me by my choice of employment. Seriously.
How are you two on your spell slots? Should we take a long rest?
Oh, good question.
Very good question.
I feel like I wasted some invisibility skill. So.
Because we've also gone
Let's
2 episodes
see.
without experience, so...
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad in spell slots, but I could probably use my 3rd level ones.
I'm doing
Or 2nd
pretty
level ones,
bad
I mean.
on spell slots.
And you guys aren't pressed for time to do anything at the moment, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Things are in a pretty steady state.
Yeah, we might have started a long rest.
I think we just went to the funeral and
Oh yeah, Eva's
chilled.
funeral.
Yeah,
Yep.
sad times.
Deadsies. Super deadsies.
Rip dot zip.
It's just because she's old, right?
Yeah, she was old. Well loved, but these things happen. Everyone dies eventually. No one gets out of this one alive.
Should have rolled a starting age.
Unless you're a necromancer.
Right, except for Stuka's family. Okay, so you guys were thinking about taking a long rest, huh?
Yeah, right. We
Yes.
arrived back on the 22nd of September.
That is correct.
Neat.
Oh, I like this music.
Yeah. I'm gonna go take a look at how much experience to award you all.
Do I have music? I don't think I have music.
It's a little soft right now.
Yeah, I have very, very
I'll
faint
a wee
music.
bit.
It's super faint.
Neat. My next level requires 0 thinking from me. Wow. I just get even more powerful.
You love to see it.
Hate to see it.
Neil hates to see it. We love to see it.
But it's fine. We're just gonna run up on ahead anyway and not have Ashley attack for us. So it's not gonna matter, you know.
How long has it been since you've gotten XP? I'm scrolling back through my notes.
I think it's...
I think Mactaki.
It might have been after the swamp.
I think Mactaki sent us a.
Yeah, after the swamp is last time.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we've been talking to the water elemental.
Dealing with draconians,
Yes.
earthquake.
Earth elemental.
The little
Skeletons.
spy.
Yeah. Kaela and Stuka. All of those things have happened since.
My fanboy.
I can't find the last time we did. Oh, okay, here we go. We got XP last session. Out of the swamp, the party splits. Yeah, okay. And then you know those wildfires. Oh, that's not last session. I'm sorry.
It is 3
My
sessions ago.
notes are just out of
Yeah,
order.
it,
Yeah, okay, here we go.
It was after the swamp though, but
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago that was.
I just opened my tabs in the wrong order, so it looks like it was the very last session. So we get experience for wildfires, train the townsfolk. Okay, so we're starting to employ some people to militarize the town just a little bit more, just to keep us on the safe side since some sketchy shit is going down. So that's worth some experience. A new cat arrived, this one named Nancy. Has anyone figured out why this cat is named Nancy? No?
Good
Okay,
question.
it's fine.
Did
Don't
you
worry
just
about
pull
it.
out of the blue,
No,
or-
I
fine.
thought just
Yeah,
Lydia named.
but where did
We didn't name her Nancy, that's for sure.
Pearl, what's your mom's name?
What? Lydia.
Lydia.
Lydia. Where did Lydia get this name from? Is the question.
I haven't asked Mom about it. I don't know.
It was like probably on the nearest object to her.
Some object. But what object and why?
Too well. This is no good. Let's see. Oh, Henrietta came back and you guys all spoke about the water elemental, and then you spent a bunch of time visiting with the water elemental. Right.
We all got
Yes.
one gold
So
each. A lot
you
of
all
us.
get 1 gold each. Absolutely. It just, Eva had some inheritance, and she
Right.
decided to give 1 gold to everyone in town.
That's so kind of her.
She was a wonderful woman. Died way too soon. Ah, yes, the things with the informer. You got a sneak peek at the Draconian camp. Learned a little bit more about what's going on over there.
When was the Kaela stuff that we did? Because we started setting up that trade.
Yeah, that was after the swamp.
Yeah. But what about the Gator quest?
That was before the swamp. That was during the swamp.
Right,
Before.
that's true. Okay, so that one we've done. We just collected, like, the reward for that later, I guess. Okay.
You fought off an earth elemental. You don't have to just kill it, you just have to sort of overcome the problem, which you did through
did
cunning and through careful applications of magic. So that's a victory right there. Earth elemental, news of Northridge. back to Ka'Elo, this time with trade again. Made your way back into the city, made some more friends there. It's worth a little bit of experience. And then all the Stuka stuff in the town. That is worth quite a bit, just to see what's going on, realizing the dangers. Fought a bunch of skeletons. Let's get you skeleton XP. Oh yeah, perfect. How many skellies did we shell? It's like 6 of them on the bridge. And then we return home, and then there was great role playing throughout all of it. So we'll add a little bit more, and we'll divide it between 3 people. And if my notes are correct, everyone can take home 1,566 experience points.
Wow.
No, can we get a little bit more? Oh no, how can we get?
That is my math.
Wait, are we really?
You know, it's
Wait,
1566.6 repeating, so we can round to 1567 if that helps.
Does it? Are we like
Actually, wait. What
50
is
short or something?
what is the level up?
No.
Sheets.google.com.
I didn't look at how much you needed. I just looked at how much you got.
How much are we getting? 1567.
Oh, wait.
1567. That should bring you to 5906.
Yes, that is.
Yeah,
I thought it was
we're
6,000. It's
short.
6,500. Um.
5906 or 5966?
Should be 66. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, yes. Yes, okay.
Dang it, we're
Type
so
wrong.
close.
What's the level up limit?
6,500, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But we're currently at 5,995, I think.
All right, y'all, let's go to the fields and just murder hobo. Let's just farm
Walk around
XP.
and kick puppies for a little while.
Yeah, farm XP.
Wait, are we 5966 or 59?
You
What
are
5966.
Wait.
5966.
5,9. Okay.
So close.
My math has been deleted from my brain, but okay.
Reinstall that module.
Chat is demanding us to get more XP for discovery and whatnot and accomplishment experience.
Demanding. Strong words.
Those are very strong words. So, what do you want to do? Because you're not getting more experience.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it'll be
But
fine.
we should do a long rest, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
long rest
really
does
good.
mean XP, so we have
Right,
to do a
that's
long
true,
rest.
Okay. So we rest for a week. Which means somebody needs to roll me a 2d6
Dun dun dun.
to see if we can even get our week's rest. Maybe
2d6.
something happens.
Bam, 9.
9. It's not another 6 or 7. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, rare. So rare.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
Ooh.
So, 2 days into your long rest, on September 24th, oh, no, we're not there yet, actually. No, okay, we are here. Good. 2 days later, on September 24th, you are alerted by not just the local watch, but by regular citizens of the town to someone limping down the river, sort of like floating in the water and then picking themselves up and limping down the river through town, looking weary, ragged, wounded even. Let's bring us to our town map. And we will say that this is happening. They'll be noticed when they first come in. By the time you all reach them, they are over here. Right there. Let me get a quick token for this person. Come on, tokens. It is... Where's the D6 over here? Ah, yes. It is a middle-aged man. Maybe not quite middle-aged. Somewhere in his 40s. And he's clearly injured. He's got some sort of tattered remains of like leather armor that looks like it's been ruined. There's a like tattered green cloak wrapped around him. No weapons. The token has a weapon because there's no tokens without weapons practically. And this person looks like they're just a drowned fish that's barely been able to get along. They stay in the water, using it to help propel themselves down the river because they're so badly injured it looks like they would have trouble walking on land.
I would
you
get
are all...
Lydia. Or no, sorry, not Lydia. Our cleric. I forgot her name.
Annabelle.
Annabelle, yes.
Yes.
As soon as
Annabelle
possible.
as well is alerted to this, and the party will start arriving in the zone around here. Maybe something like this, as our mysterious ranger is arriving. And I'm going to give them a little bar, just for funsies. Just to put a question mark on what's happening here. Many townspeople come out and they're looking in the water. Some are calling for y'all to help. There are many cries for Annabelle, who arrives with the three of you to see what's going on. Of course, there's no staircase nearby. What would you like to do? This man in the water is looking around and just propelling himself as quickly as he can down the river, which is not very quickly at all. Keeps bumping into rocks and having to push himself around. Looks on the edge of death.
I can help Annabelle climb down. I have climbing proficiency, so if Annabelle wanna climb, I can probably aid in doing that, right? To get down there
I
quickly.
suppose.
We could also
Yeah.
just run over to the stairs over here.
I have rope.
These are all good options.
These are all good
All of them.
options as the
All of
body.
them at the same time.
Let's just run down the stairs over here
Okay, sounds good.
and wait for them to come by.
We'll catch him. Yeah.
I'll call
They
out,
float on
I
by.
guess, and say hello.
Yeah, there are enough. There have been enough dangerous things happening in town that no one goes down to the river to actually run into this person, except for the three of you plus Annabelle. Your soldiers, your guards, Biggs, Wedge, and it's not Sonia. It's Jesse. Yes, Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse are watching from the upper areas with bows and spears. Some of your other people in town who have been training with bows show up as well, just in case something goes wrong. And you said you called out? What did you call out?
Hello, do you need assistance? We're here to help.
The person washes themselves to this rock and holds on to it in the water, putting the rock between you and them, sort of hiding back behind it a little bit, clearly fatigued and exhausted, shivering in the cold, having been soaked for who knows how long, but also weary. They don't respond right away. They just sort of eye the four of you up and down. Their eyes
Yeah.
settle on Pearl for a while, like judging quickly, and then over to Annabelle, judging.
You're clearly injured. Come on up, and I will reach out my hand.
And we have I'll call out that we have a cleric that can help heal.
All right, not Lydia, Pearl. Give me what is like the opposite of an intimidation check? Make
Charisma?
some sort of friendly check. Whatever you think is the appropriate method of displaying your friendliness.
That one is hard. I don't know. Would it be like... I feel like it should be charisma.
Just a straight charisma check or a persuasion check, something like that?
Persuasion feels almost like I'm trying to manipulate them. But if it's just
Charisma,
more
yeah,
like...
charisma is almost like charming.
Mm-hmm. All right, so just a straight charisma check then.
Yeah. Okay.
How friendly do you come off? Not particularly friendly.
It's the water.
This nearly mortally wounded person sees this strange, hairy, clawed beast reaching out towards him, and he sort of sinks in the water and pushes off the rock and kicks to the other side and begins to float down.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll call out as well. Sir, you really must come. You need help. Please let us help you.
Are you with the monsters? He calls out.
No, the draconians upriver. You mean?
And what's that? He says, pointing a finger at Pearl as he floats down the river. Another monster? I'm not going to be tricked
Monster.
again.
I'm trying to help. I swear.
Please, kind sir. We have wine.
I don't think the temptation of wine is going to change his mind when he thinks that maybe you guys are here to eat him or kill him. He seems very suspicious and scared.
I'll call out and look. There's a necromancer in the town downstream. Do you really want to float through the necromancer's territory?
Ooh, give me a charisma check of your own. That's a good argument.
Very good.
That's enough for our mysterious person to float to the other side of the river and sort of like catch himself on the sand there, watching, waiting, considering, clearly paranoid, terrified.
Okay. We should help them.
Yeah, I'll call out and say, look, we have a cleric. We can help you. Will you allow us to heal your wounds?
The exhausted man sort of just gives you like a nod and like pulls himself up onto shore just a little bit more and just lays on the ground, like dragging himself out of the water onto the sand and stops, heart racing, exhausted. You can all come to the other side, and Annabelle can drop a healing spell for 11. That's a good roll. Restoring 11 hit points on this person, getting them to about half HP, a little bit less still. You can see some of these nasty cuts all over his body begin to knit up a little bit. There are also these like small slashes across the abdomen and a few all like defensive cuts on the arms. Khyperia, you'd be very familiar with the defensive nature of like arm wounds where you're trying to ward off something on you. The face is a little bit scarred up, but mostly it's injuries to that like abdomen, belly area, and to the hands themselves. Stopping, panting, the man mutters, thank you. What is that thing? And jabs a exhausted, semi-broken finger in the direction of Pearl, accusatorily.
We don't have time to talk about that now. We just need to tend to your wounds. So we need to get you some... Do you want some warm clothes? Some shelter? Tristel can get you some wine.
He regards you with suspicion, but nods his head enthusiastically.
Thank you.
He's a friend. You have nothing to worry about. You're in the best hands.
Mm. Did you see him? The lizard men. Did you see them? Are they here?
Did they do this to you?
Uh-huh.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh.
Have they come here yet?
Yes, we've tried to negotiate with them, and they seemed fairly.
You can't trust them.
negotiable.
What prompted this attack?
They took me. They took me prisoner
Why?
from my village.
Wait, these draconians that are next door or some other draconians?
They're all the
Actually-
same, aren't they?
Well, I mean, no. We've been talking to the draconians next door. We have a sort of... bit of a strained relationship, but we're not hostile toward each other.
He looks aghast. Are you kidding me? They took me prisoner. They tortured me for months. Interrogated me.
That sounds horrible. Who did that?
The monsters.
Which one?
He just lies on his back, exhausted. You,
Look,
you associate with this dumb beast, he says to the 3 other assembled people.
Hey, I'm not dumb.
I say oi and put a hand on my sword.
They all did it. They were all there. Those that weren't participating watched. They laughed. There's a hissing, cackling sound. They enjoyed it.
Where is your village? Were others taken?
The other side of Mount Carmine. I was the only one taken in the moment, but I don't know what happened to the others. Maybe they were taken? The monsters, they were looking for something. They kept asking me about magic, sources of magic in the area. But I'm just a humble ranger. I don't know anything about that. When I didn't have answers for them, they insisted. And he points towards his belly and makes a jabbing and twisting motion with his hand.
That's horrible.
Do you know where they came from? The Draconians?
They just showed up one day. 6 of them with some other monsters, some troglodytes. They burst into town, bashed some heads around, destroyed some structures, killed a few people, and took me hostage.
That's not good.
If his village is near Mount Carmine, I could have sworn one of the Draconians told us that their base is nearby there.
That makes sense.
Did you come
Coming
into
down
any
this river
trouble with the Draconians next
for
door?
days. No, I slipped past them. I saw the watchtower, and I floated underwater as long as I could hold my breath.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you made it out alive.
By now, some townspeople have gathered on the bridges and the walkways to watch and oversee the conversation. The wounded ranger is finally sort of resting. The adrenaline is fading from his system. There's a lot of people here. There's a strange cat person as well. There's also a cleric with healing magic, and finally feeling somewhat safe, exhaustion overwhelms him and he passes out cold.
I think he's dying. I run to his corpse and are you okay? Are you alive? What happened?
Annabelle sort of stands over him and pushes you back gently and says, I think he just needs some rest. Would you give him some space?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Tristel, the inn, could you help drag him to the inn?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Could you carry him?
of course.
And the 5 will all make their way towards the inn. The gentleman will rest for quite some time. He needs sleep, lots and lots of sleep and lots of rest. So while he is unconscious, the 3 of you, plus Mayor Barnaby, plus Annabelle, plus anyone who's anyone in town, comes with thoughts on what should happen. And very quickly it becomes a large discussion in the common room of the inn about what should be done with this person. And everyone's got their opinions, and the 3 of you are quickly sidelined by the shouting of small town politics, which is very heated with lots of opinions. And not all of them are well thought out or informed, surprisingly. I know. You'd expect in a small town everyone to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But this does sort of sideline the 3 of you to have your own discussion on what you think should be done, if anything. Maybe this is just nothing. What are your thoughts?
On the way back to the inn, I would have wanted to get a good look on their clothes. If we can notice any markings or symbols or anything to know anything about them.
The clothes are not particularly fancy. They're well made in the sense like they're designed for someone to spend time in the woods. So the leather armor is very functional, but it's not decorative. The stitching on it is solid, but it's also not particularly pretty. You can see where it's been restitched and repaired many, many times. The cloak is pretty much useless at this point. It's just like long tatters and strips. It's clearly been in lots of wear and tear. There's like brambles stuck in it, and it gets like caught with those sticky, spiky pods that you might find out in the woods. Clearly, it hasn't been repaired in some time. The man doesn't even have proper boots on anymore. You can see some like tattered remains of what once were probably shoes, but the soles are gone, and it's just sort of like almost ankle warmers at this point.
Okay.
Definitely not someone of means, but someone who would have practical need to have and repair outdoorsy style equipment, which sort of checks with the self-proclaimed rangerness of the man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Draconians like to just bombard villages for whatever reason. They like war. So I don't know that it was necessarily targeted for any particular reason if they're just looking for resources.
I feel like we should talk to the Draconians about this. See if they know anything, if they are affiliated with whatever group of Draconians did this. And hopefully they didn't do this, right? They wouldn't do this.
I mean,
would they?
what good would that do, talking to them?
We might find out more about who did it, right? Because we don't want people to think that, our Draconians in town did it, right?
I guess, yeah. As to what to do with this person,
I mean, I'm guessing we should just let them stay in town for however long they need, right?
yeah.
Cool. Just let them rest.
I guess keep an eye on them a little bit to make sure that they're not
I think
someone bad, I guess. But
Yeah, maybe we could keep to ourselves the fact that there's a random, unexplained source of magic near the town, because
Definitely.
this is what the Draconians are looking for. I don't know how happy they'd be. Well, it's around here probably. Sorry, your town was destroyed. Well, they're looking for stuff.
Our mysterious ranger will sleep away the day and the night, and will not reappear until the following day, when, in the morning, Tristel, you will find the ranger out here sipping on some coffee provided by Greta. The rest of the party will be off, doing their own stuff, and you, if you would like, can have a moment to chat with the new fellow, or not. Totally your call.
I'll just stop by and ask how he's doing. Good morning, fellow. How are you? I don't think I ever got your name.
Oh, so sorry. It was He shakes his head. My name is Link.
Link. I hope you've been able to rest at least a little.
Your cleric? Your priestess? That was... He points to his belly. I was certain I was on the edge of death. I haven't seen magic like that ever. How? Where did she come from? Where did you get such incredible powers of healing?
Well, funny enough, I'm not actually from here, so I can't answer that. However, I will agree Annabelle's quite incredible, and you are correct, you were probably very well near death, but that's just how amazing she is.
Wow. This town collects strays like you and me? And that thing?
Well, Pearl and I aren't from here, no, but maybe we are kind of collecting strays. That does seem to be a pattern happening, huh? Well, anyways, I won't keep you too long. I'd, of course, enjoy your coffee.
Wait, what is that thing? The one you
What
call
thing?
Pearl? But the
Oh, Pearl,
claws?
she's. Yes, well, we all have claws, don't we? And I have manicured nails, so.
He gives a half-hearted shrug. You seem to trust her?
I trust her with my life. In fact, she saved my life on many occasions. You have nothing to worry about. Trust.
Okay.
We're all friendly here.
What is the name of this place?
Frog Canyon. Home.
Sensing you're done with the conversation, he sits back and sips his coffee, takes a bite of a croissant, lets you go on your way.
Yeah, I don't want him to ask me more questions about magic. I'm the worst person to ask that.
Great. Well, party. Stay, chat with the dude, go talk to Draconians, finish your long rest and get out of town fast.
We should finish the long rest, right? Or should we talk to the Draconians
Right.
before long rest is over? Do we want to talk to the Draconians? I feel like we should, but...
I'm not sold that they would know anything about what's going on up north.
Yeah, and they would just be like, haha, yes we did assault a town, that's what we do, hey, deal with it. Like
But that would,
yeah.
like, that means that we now have more information than we did before, right? Like, they know that it's happening and they aren't doing anything about it, and maybe they're affiliated with them or not. Maybe they don't want to be affiliated with them at all, right?
Well, then maybe we could present them with limited information and see what they say. We've heard word that there's some, attacks on villages up north. Do you all know anything about it?
West.
Oh yeah, north.
West.
Wait, is it directly
Northwest.
west?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, yeah, I guess it is pretty much west. But yeah, and then see if they know anything about it. But not mention that there is a refugee from said attack.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
town.
definitely. So yeah, I guess waiting in case they saw Link floating down the river. Let's wait until the end of the long rest to just give some time to
Okay.
detach that. Would make sense, I think.
Ooh, good point. Good point.
So Link is going to need. Link will gain 1 hit die a night. So
Can I go play music for him and
to give him extra HP? Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me double check how much
This one
that
won't end
is.
poorly.
Yeah, extra 1d6.
Okay. So it will take him 2 more days to fully recover back to full with the aid of your Song of Rest. In a couple days, he heals up enough that he feels comfortable getting out of town. He's an outdoorsman. He's used to the wear and tear on his body. And once he is recovered enough, and he's still, he doesn't have proper shoes anymore, his clothes are tattered, but at least they're dry now. A few days into the rest, he announces his intention to leave and head home. He thanks you all deeply for your hospitality, for your food. He doesn't have any money to pay for any of the things that he's been gifted here, because he's been held captive by these monsters for so long. But if he ever makes it back this way, he will make it up to you. And on the 3 nights, on Friday, the 27th, he announces his intent to leave.
Yeah. I'll just give him some advice of where we know the Draconians are that are near us and how to avoid them on his way back west. So, yeah.
Are you sure you want to leave on your own?
I have to go home. I have friends and family.
I think he can
Life.
handle it too. Yeah. I trust in this person's abilities to be a ranger.
Just seems a little dangerous to go back to all of that war, I guess.
He'll be fine.
What's the other option? Abandon my home? Don't look for my family? Who would the monster be then?
Yeah.
I guess.
Pearl.
Yeah. What?
Um,
Look at Car.
I want to offer our map, not to him, but like presenting kind of like the lay of the land, and ask if he would mind marking like where his town is. In the event that we're ever, up near Mount Carmine, it would really ease our hearts to be able to check on you. Would you mind showing us where your town is?
He would be happy to show you where his town is. Let me...
Building up that map.
Yeah, let me check my master copy of the map over here. Where is it hiding? Maps. Gold Farron Empire. Our dearly beloved Ranger Link comes from... I think that's what those circles mean. He comes from right over here on the opposite side of Mount Carmine, all the way across the Great Plateau from the other side of the mountain. He tells you that he can see, or from his home, the one of the other, what would you call them? Great Sisters is visible. And he'll mention that. And none of you really know what's going on, but this mountain here, Mount Carmine, is referred to as one, the Great Sister. And he lets you know that there are two others. And it's a chain of 3 tall mountains that stretch this way. He's nestled right here at like the base of the plateau before Mount Carmine, where you can see the next one in line. And you can't see it from your area. There's too much crap in the way. He's like right between the two of them, right at the edge of the plateau.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. His village's name is Lazis.
Lazis.
How do you spell that?
Well, I never learned how to write.
Oh, sorry.
So this is a tangent, but like I really appreciate how you've like never spelled anyone's names, and all of my notes are just like random guesses, and it's probably like massively different spelling. It's so good.
Before the standardization of language, shit was cray-cray.
Yeah, wild. I mean, it's still kind of cray-cray.
Those British people putting in random U's and E's into their words? What are they thinking?
Or R's?
Color with a U?
I don't know if we discussed on, this is also tangent, I don't know if we discussed, same tangent. I don't know if we discussed on stream or if it was like in chat, but that like idea that the word tea, that's like exactly what happened. Everyone is just calling it the same thing, and everyone's different language is like cha?
Tea versus chai.
Chai?
Chai, yeah. Yeah. I do love language mechanics.
It's good, it's good.
Well, Link goes on. Here, let me add my notes. Link leaves.
Link's gonna have to go past the Draconians, though. Our Draconians.
Yeah, I told him where they are and how to navigate around. Can like go south for like a couple miles and circle around.
They should be friendly, though.
He is just going to head up a different canyon and find a way around the mountain,
Oh.
And he needs the mountains to help navigate positionally, and he'll be fine. And then 2 days later, if there's nothing else you want to do, you finish your long rest on the 29th.
Cool.
Yo.
Which also requires another 2d6.
I got this.
You got it.
Haha, 7.
Classic.
Classic 7. Weather event. We are here in summer. We did Ashfall, and I believe we are in for another heat wave.
Oof.
Oh no.
As you are resting and relaxing, the oppressive dome of heat that sits over this town sometimes rolls in. The heat is so bad that you can't like wear your heavy armor. It's going to you're just going to overheat if you're hauling your armor, or if you're hauling thick clothing around. If you're wearing like padded armor or like a heavy cloak or anything like that, you're just going to every hour you'll have to make a DC 10 con save or suffer 1 level of exhaustion. So if you're going to head out this week, you're going to have to tow your armor behind you or just leave it at home. Those of you that wear it.
I don't need armor.
Too hot.
So I'm fine.
Too hot to be outside.
Yeah. But I assume we want to talk to Draconians, as well as possibly, do you know what the status on the canoe building is?
Oh, yeah.
Because we couldn't do that this week during the heat wave.
I think the bridges were done. The canoe was put in the queue, but again, with only the one good worker in town that can work with wood. They're Barnaby had put in an order for a table, but then the whole table order got delayed because of the bridges, and now the mayor's kind of where's that dinner table? And the carpenter is well, they said they needed a canoe. That seems like it's important for the town. Barnaby's I put a deposit down months ago. Where's my money? If I'm not going to get my table, I need to reinvest that somewhere else. And, somebody else there's one of the bridgeways a lot of the bridgeways have actually, walkways have been damaged by that, elemental, and those need to be repaired. And so our dear carpenter friend comes to you, hat in hand, when you come to talk about the canoe, and goes, I would love to get to this project, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and while I do have my family to help me, it's really just me that's carrying the weight of all the carpentry.
Okay. Reasonable, I guess.
Would you mind if I push back the project for another month?
Sure.
People need to be able to access their homes.
Yes,
and the mayor's
yes,
breathing
of
down my throat,
course.
He's threatening to pull my gun if I don't do what he says.
How will you ever be able to eat without that, I understand.
Yeah. Also, I've been working really hard. It might be nice to have a day off every now and then.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, overcrowded town and the river.
Yeah, could maybe find some apprentices over there.
Really help the work. My son hasn't really shown much of an appetite for woodworking. He's always, hanging out in the garden, pulling weeds and picking apples and baking pies. And I love the pies, but it'd be really nice if he'd take after my work. And my daughter, she's only 8. She can hold an ale for me, but she can't do much in the way of planing yet. It'll be years before she's a useful assistant.
Darn kids these days.
I know. What does he want? Be a gardener? A baker? Family tradition is to be a carpenter. Sorry, I don't mean to put my social life, my family problems in your lap. But thank you for understanding.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Well
No
then.
canoe.
Has he considered, this isn't directly to him, has he considered that his son could grow trees that he could?
Oh, there we go. Big brain move.
The supply chain family.
That'd be a great idea.
Own the means of production.
Alrighty. Well, why don't we take our first break right now, and when we come back on the other side, we will maybe go have a friendly conversation with some Draconians, or maybe we'll go to the north and find out a little bit more about this Maven fellow. And there was
Repair
some plan about
golems?
that
Dinosaurs.
repair golem, maybe run from dinosaurs. Maybe there's knowledge about the magic. Who knows what we can find up there? But we'll find it out on the other side of our break.
Great. See you in a little bit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Embers of the Wilds. Our party is rested. They're healed. Now comes the difficult part. Deciding what to do.
Going somewhere.
Okay, but we should talk to the Draconians first.
Yeah.
That's our local problem right there.
Yeah.
Kinda. Sorta.
Pearl, you're in charge of negotiations.
Me?
Yes. It's your
I don't
idea.
wanna
You do it.
negotiate.
Wait, are we sure?
What?
You got
You want to
this.
do it? I don't
No.
want to do it.
We should talk to them.
Yeah, we can talk to them.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's not anything crazy. I mean, our boys already left too.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
how
would
much
be interesting to
information do
know
we-
if they're. Well, yeah, it would be interesting to know if they are aware of what like other draconian encampments are up to.
Although
If
this
there's
raid did
communication.
happen like 4 months ago. So news travels, even if it travels slowly. But we'll see.
We could also lie and say we found this out from Kaela if they are like, "How do you know about this?"
Mm-hmm.
We travel. Word gets around.
Yeah, I can say like a
do.
survivor like headed down to Kalala sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really have to do that though?
I mean, if they ask how we know, which is a
If they
reasonable
ask.
question to ask.
Like, wouldn't, or like, what would we gain from lying about them not arriving in town?
I mean, so if they're after a prisoner who escaped, then it'd be nice to not give information about that prisoner, I guess. Just be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I didn't want to share that he had come through town. Because then, yeah, we kept their boy, kept that from them, healed him, set him on his way.
But what if they know that they came through town and they can tell that we're lying, and then our relationship has all of a sudden eroded strongly?
They have
That's
another
fair.
informant.
That's fair.
I feel like we should just be honest with them.
I guess.
Fine.
Honesty's the best policy.
But don't.
You get nowhere in your personal relationships if you start off with lies.
We should treat everyone as our personal relationship. That's how we should do this.
That's how good small business is run.
We're so honest. We're so honest.
Yeah, we should definitely not tell them if they don't ask.
Yes, I like this. It's not lying if it's omission.
I mean, it is called a lie of omission for a reason.
We're game planning things that they may not ask, so we'll answer if they ask.
But if they don't even ask, what do we even bring up? Because that's how we found out about this thing. This person arriving in town, that's the instigator of everything.
We came across a survivor and heard word that this happened. It doesn't give a place or a where we heard. I think that'll go fine.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. You'll do the talking then? Cross my arms.
Sure. Sure.
Okay,
Fine.
we got this.
Great. So,
Um,
to the Draconians, the three of you, any backup, any soldiers, any clerics?
I
Not
feel like-
to follow us like close, but maybe to at least be somewhere in town that's not too far away and not too busy, I guess.
I feel like if we start to get attacked, then we're just wiping the entire town because they are like, what is it, like 40 or 50 draconians? I have it in my notes somewhere, but yeah, we're gonna get stomped on if we get attacked. So that's
So don't even bother bringing reinforcements, because what would the point be?
exactly.
Hold on.
What?
Love it.
What?
Love it. All right.
What about Greg? Greg
True.
can. Okay, they might
Yeah.
have 40, but Greg can stomp in their asses. And also, how? Okay. Question: How are Draconians with heat wave type weather? Do they? Is this like their jam, or are they also not feeling it?
That's pretty good question. You'll have. I mean, I think you'll get the answers today.
Okay.
But
I was hoping you would give that answer to us.
we haven't seen it, right? You haven't. There's been
That's a good
no
point.
scouting on that front yet.
We're just gonna find out when it's
Okay.
too late, you know? So it's fine. We're just gonna walk in. and
Yeah,
then we see
this
that
is like
they're,
an accidental 2 times buff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we'll die. It's fine.
Perfect. So, the party heads towards the Draconian lair with who was going to be the lead negotiator again?
Trista.
Tristel? Excellent. Tristel, you take point, and soon enough, our party gathers near the Draconian watchtower. And as usual, there are a pair of Draconians up in it. One Baz and one Capac, a bronze one and the copper one. The copper one's up there with the bow. The bronze one is down below with a halberd in 2 hands. And they see you approach, and the one on the ground dips its head towards you and goes, "Ah!" But a friendly, "Ah!"
I raise a flask of wine. Hello, our friends. We come bearing refreshments during this most warm time.
Yes, the Draconian very quickly goes and grabs your flask of wine from your hand and greedily gulps it down without sharing it with you or his friend up in the watchtower. Just holds onto it and... and in the process, you will notice the Draconian as well is not wearing its chain shirt. It is just hanging out with scales and the halberd standing in the shade. And the Draconian up in the watchtower, the Kopoks usually wear some sort of like leather over them. This guy doesn't have any leather armor. And you can see that the wings are fully extended and very gently flapping to sort of like create a breeze, or at least, you know, allow to act like as a radiator, so that, you know, both of their wings are fully extended, just gently in the air, helping cool them down. Once the flask is completely finished, the Draconian will sort of like set their halberd against the watchtower and drop to all fours and scamper along the ground, using all 4 limbs to run quickly and using the wings to help propel a little bit, and bolt up the canyon at a very impressive 40 movement speed on all 4s. Up the canyon towards the spot where you met them before.
Oh, okay.
Does it look like they're getting someone, or?
Yeah,
probably.
they put down their weapons so they could run, so it's gotta be friendly.
As in, like, are they getting someone to come over here, or should we follow?
Do we follow?
Seems like if they bolted that fast, they would have indicated if they should follow or we should follow. So let's just hang
true.
around here for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Their social skills are different, for sure, so...
A few minutes later, one of the bronze ones will show back up. The Draconian wears no armor, just sort of bronzish colored scales, and is accompanied by the one who ran off, as well as 2 others. This time they're all walking back together on their feet, not scampering along the ground. So 2 more brass ones with pole arms, the bronze one with nothing, and then the one who ran away and came back. And the four of them will show up, and the leader will raise a claw to you and say, "How are you doing, my dear friends?"
I want to try and mimic this motion and put a hand up and be like, "Hello! I wish I had brought more wine for you all. It's quite a hot day, isn't it?"
Very hot.
Yes. Well, we come with a very short visit in mind. Just wanted to check up on a few things. So, I'll get right to it. Interestingly enough, we came across a traveler who told us of a bit of an encounter with some draconians up to the west, near Mount Carmine. They say their village was ransacked. I think we were just curious to see if this was information that you all had as well.
A village? Attacked?
Yes. Yes.
That's a very broad notion. Many villages are attacked.
Yes. This village was attacked by your kin. By another band
My
of draconians?
people
Yes.
attacked a village? No. We're peaceful creatures. We have no need.
So this is strange news to you then?
Yes.
Can we tell if they're lying?
You know, when there's like strong cultural differences, it can be difficult to tell if something is just like the way someone behaves, which is odd to you, or if it's like odd behavior because they're lying. Maybe the translation from like the draconian thoughts to the common speech takes a moment. Maybe there's like some processing going on. Maybe the, lizard-like nature of these creatures causes them to just come off as wary. Maybe it's your own internal bias against lizards and snakes and dragons that is influencing your opinions. Or maybe he's just a really bad liar and it's obvious. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
Are you a bigot?
Wow. Well, if this is surprising news, I suppose that's very well. In any case, we just wanted to bring it up. Who knows what the what the conflict was that prompted this attack between fine draconians and fine human villagers, but please.
How did
please
you
wait.
hear this news?
So a survivor from the village we came across in our travels.
Are they okay?
They
Yeah.
seem
They're
Okay.
okay now, but they were very badly wounded. You don't happen to know
Boys.
the draconians who did this, do you? Or who might have done this near Carmine?
Carmine?
The big mountain, and I point toward the mountain.
It is a big world. Do you know the humans that caused the war?
I don't really know.
fair
We're trying to find
point.
out who is causing all the troubles around here, but we heard of someone called Scleras, who are presumably human, and we're trying to find them too.
Sclaris?
Mm-hmm.
Draconian shrugs. I do not know that name. What is Sclaris?
Scleras is a warlord. They ransacked the town out in the fields to the east that we call Northridge.
Shakes his head. I've never heard such a name.
Okay. Okay, well, let us know if you hear anything, I suppose, about who might have done this in the village over there.
Are you kin of that village?
Well, we don't want to see people come to unnecessary harm, and learning about this person, I guess we sort of feel an obligation to help them.
And for you all as well, we don't want to see any human or draconian come to any harm.
Are there
peace-
humans that would harm us?
unfortunately, there's a lot of hateful people out there. And Draconians, unfortunately, as well as humans, have done many bad things to many people and Draconians. And so, not everybody is trustful of everyone.
You are right. This is a dangerous world we live in. And Draconian like casually motions to the armed guards on either side of him, holding their pole arms sort of menacingly. It pays to be prepared.
Indeed.
Well, I'm
What was
glad
the
we got
name of the
things,
village
prepared
that was
here.
hurt? So that we may tell you if we know more about it.
Lazos
Get
was the name of the town.
Lazarus.
Ah. A strange name.
It was pretty far west. I don't know. Didn't really expect you to have traveled all the way over there, but just wanted to check in to see if you knew anyone who had, or... Yeah.
Is that all you've come for today?
I think so, unless there's anything else we wanted to talk about. Is there anything you want to talk about or ask?
How are your people holding up in this weather?
Very warm. It is.
It's so hot, isn't it?
Yes. I see your... I'm assuming you didn't bring your armor?
No, I did
Actually?
not. Yeah.
I see your warrior has doffed their chains.
I see you've all done the same, because that seems like it would be too warm.
Yeah.
Yes. Terrible heat. Let us hope that no threats come during this terrible weather.
Most definitely.
It's always good to be prepared, right? And I
Yes.
look toward all the halberds and polearms around us.
Prepared for war or for weather.
Well then, I must get back to the cool of our cave.
Of course. Take a bow.
Peace be with you, humans and friends.
Peace be with you too.
And also with you.
And the Draconian will turn and head back with the two armed guards. The other one who ran off will grab their polearm and go back into the the shade of the watchtower and gently flap their wings to sort of cool themselves. It seems to be a pretty decent cooling mechanism. You can see all like the little blood veins running through that big webbed wing area because they've got like that stretched skin like a bat or like a pterodactyl. So it's just filled with blood vessels. Nice, easy, built-in cooling mechanisms.
Nice. It's practical.
And the party can return home.
Yeah.
That's fine. They don't
Yes.
bother you.
Pretty productive. Yeah.
I love talking about the weather with Draconians.
That went pretty well.
Anything else?
It seems like they just don't really know who did it, so...
I mean, little press X to doubt there, but maybe they're truthful. I don't know. We'll see.
Cool. Well, y'all get home. What now? So many options. So many places to go. So many things to do.
This was on the 29th, right? That was when our long rest
Yeah.
was done. Yeah.
Yeah, so... Could go
As of
south to get
now.
a carpenter apprentice, but I'm a little tired of Kalala right now. Can go north.
There are many things unanswered that I think going to the north could help with. We could gather some intel on how to proactively monitor the necromancer situation. The golem. Many questions there. And our elemental friend. All things which require the knowledge that this mage may or may not have.
Yeah.
Either way, I think that that's probably a good thing to look into.
Probably, yeah. It's a long journey, though.
It is a long journey. How long exactly would it take us to get there?
Well, let's see. I think we made this mapped appropriately to scale. So your best guess is that it's about 100 miles if you could walk there straight, which of course you can't. There's hills, there's rugged terrain, there's lakes, there's rivers.
I feel like we should go
So
through
let's
Fairport,
say,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say maybe 132 miles, and if you're going through the mountains, you're making, or through the hills, you're probably making 10 to 15 miles a day. Let's call it 12 miles a day. So this should take you about 10 or 11 days to make this journey.
One way.
One way. Yeah.
All right.
And
Rations.
that's if everything goes well.
So I'm gonna get 24.
Mhm.
A little extra.
Oh yeah, reset your spell slots and everything if you haven't.
Yes.
Yes, and the hit points. Ooh, and we could roll for temporary HP if we so desire. Or we could do it in the moment. I don't know, whichever one. I kind of like doing it in the moment.
Yeah, moment is good.
I already have 5. I don't know if I should
I like
reroll
it.
or...
So 12 gold for 24 days worth of rations.
Is that 12 gold?
Is that right? 10 silver is a gold, right?
Yes.
I think I did that wrong. I think it's 6 gold, actually. Yes.
Wait, what?
No, I was right.
Aren't they way cheaper?
I have it marked as 5
Rations?
silver. 5 silver per ration.
Oh yeah, so that
But I
would
want
be...
to get 24 of them.
So that's
So
12
it'd
gold.
be 12 gold.
Right.
Okay, then that's right.
It's a lot of ration.
Yeah. It's a lot of trip.
Heavy, too.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
need
I already have
alpaca.
7.
Yeah, do we alpaca or do we put them on Kyra?
I have no carrying capacity whatsoever all the time because my armor weighs so much.
Oh, okay.
But
I
it's
mean,
so
we can-
hot. Are you going to bring your armor?
I'm gonna cart it along because, like, I'm gonna want my armor eventually.
Okay. You're not just going to hang out.
And I mean, I imagine we can pick up some rations in Fairport. So if we go through there, we don't have
Yeah,
to get all of them immediately.
It's true.
All right. So the party is all rationed up. Is anyone encumbered? Some of us are encumbered, right?
I'm encumbered.
I mean, I'm assuming we're bringing along a llama alpaca to carry all our rations.
Yeah, if you would like. So this time the llama is not that you'll be bringing is this is for your own purposes, right? This isn't your Mayor Barnaby's lending you his llama to haul city wealth, or one of the bartender's not lending you her llamas to like bring back mead. So maybe it's time to find some sort of who are you borrowing a llama from? Or do you have one of your own? Clearly, Tristel doesn't have a llama. Where?
Like,
We're
what is
friends with
the,
a lot of people.
How much would it cost to, like, is there can you rent llamas here? I imagine that's a thing, right? Or...
Can, like, find a friend who would be willing to part with their llama for a while.
Yeah, this would be more like, hey, I need to borrow your truck for a couple of weeks.
Right.
How would you make what sort of offer would you make to a friend to borrow their car for the better part of a month? Because it's kind of a big ask.
Potentially destroying it along the way in case something happens.
Would
A
you take your
month.
truck and go off-roading in a dangerous area for a month?
There might be dinosaurs, I don't know, but we'll see.
I would say
Yeah.
probably like $500, so 5 gold.
5 gold? And
Assuming
is there a
assuming our economy is still roughly 1 copper is 1 gold. or $1.
Yeah, it's a very rough ballpark. Is there a specific person with whom you want to have this negotiation? If there's like a relationship you want to develop in some way, shape, or form, or are you just whoever you think would be the most amenable?
Who would have llamas in general? Like what would be their profession usually?
Llamas are the pack animals of the day. Anyone that needs to haul things would have a llama. So people who some of the woodsmen who chop down trees and drag them back into town, they'll use llamas to help pull. Some of the folks who have like alpaca herds, alpacas are used for their fur, they'll graze them, but like they'll put a couple llamas in the pack because llamas are great guard animals as well. So some of the herders will do it. Some of the alpaca farmers will do it. Who else has llamas around here? Some of the hunters will have llamas, and then a couple of people keep a llama on hand as a pet because they're, kind of cute and adorable, and they're also great guard animals. Very protective.
Okay.
There are a few about.
I don't imagine we would borrow a llama from anyone who like has them as a pet. Probably like a llama that's used to carrying stuff and whatnot.
So maybe one of the woodsmen, one of the foresters. Okay, totally fine. And as a hunter, Pearl, you would know the foresters fairly well because you all head out upriver together, and then the hunters go off one direction, the foresters go off another direction, and you do your separate activities. But there's often like everyone goes out to work in the morning, and they all like head upriver together. So you would know plenty of these foresters, and you can find one who would be willing to do this. Someone who might need a little bit of extra money, and for whom their llama is, maybe not the most important thing. Would someone roll me a d6 and a d10, please?
Oh, especially now during the
Learn a little
heat.
bit.
I imagine like people are gonna work less because it's harder to work during the heat. So.
Totally.
I will roll a 1d6 and a 1d10.
Okay. This is Nyx. And she is one of the older foresters. She's maybe 60 years old. And she will happily lend you her llama and take a couple weeks off and just rest and enjoy everything. And you can take the llama and she'll get the 5 gold for it. Please bring the llama back. By the way, if you're, this is my, she's named the llama too because, of course, the llama has a name.
Yes.
The llama's name is Teki.
Hecky.
What a good.
She lets you know that Teki's a little bit feisty. She's been with her for a long time, so please bring Teki back alive. And if you don't, we'll have to negotiate some sort of fee for damages incurred.
We'll do what we can to keep them safe. Don't worry.
The llama will be safe.
She offers to sell you accidental insurance for another 5 gold during your trip. This will cover all damages to the llama should they be incurred.
No damages to the llama.
I think
No llama insurance?
I think we'll be fine.
That'll be good.
Okay.
We'll
No
take good care of
damage, no
Teki.
invisibility. Nothing bad's gonna happen to this llama. It's not gonna be left tied to a tree in a swamp with zombies. Nothing.
That sounds extraordinary, Tristal. That would never happen.
That's so bizarre. How could that even happen?
What a ridiculous notion.
Techie's gonna go on a trekkie.
All right. Our party sets out on a boiling hot spring day near the end of spring. And we head north towards Fairport. That is way too peaceful of music. No. Where's our hot sounding music?
So we're making the llama hauler armor, right?
Whatever you want to put on it. It's got some saddlebags and some harnesses and some ropes attached to it so it can pull things behind it. You can put things on it. This should effectively unencumber you for your journey.
Cool.
Nice.
And let's roll some encounters.
What shall we encounter?
Baron Empire encounter table.
Have we ever encountered something? Like,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you have.
Saber-tooth tiger,
Oh, that's true. And the
and it
Little-
catnipped.
and the little like dog-looking things. I think.
Dinosaurs.
The chickens?
Pac-Man dinosaurs.
Yeah, the chickens.
The chickens.
Gloria and her glorious people you encountered on your way up to Fairport the first time.
True. Okay.
That's not what you come across today.
Oh.
What you come across today, maybe 3 hours into the hills outside of Trog Canyon, is a skeleton. Not a full skeleton, a semi-desiccated, semi-torn apart skeleton of a human woman, who looks like she's been dead no more than a week, probably quite a bit less. If someone can make me a good medicine check, I can give you a more accurate time of death. Like a good medicine check, like a 15.
Number 3. Someone else have better medicine?
Nope.
Mine is up
I
2.
don't think so.
All right,
Mine's a
let's go
2.
for it. Well,
No.
I've no idea what I'm talking about. Never seen a dead person in my life.
You know, it's really hot. Maybe that's adjusting the rate of decay or something like that. Animals have gotten to a little bit. But it is a woman with her clothes on, what hasn't been eaten away by animals. And there is there are some coins that have fallen out of her pocket and are sort of scattered in the area around her. You can collect 10 silver pieces and 40 copper pieces. If you want.
It's not doing any good here.
She's not using these.
Nope.
I know we split that into 3. Or was that already split? Or...
Oh yeah.
Does she look like she was injured by like a weapon, or just keeled over and died from the heat?
I think we weren't able to determine that.
Yeah, with that 7 on the medicine check, you're having a hard time figuring out cause of death. It's definitely sort of a bit of a dried up body, but it's also been eaten at by animals. So it's hard to tell if the cause of death is where an animal wound was, or if it's something else and then the animals have eaten it on top of that. There's no markings, there's no papers, there's no like name written in the back of her sweatshirt. You got nothing.
Okay, well
Anything
that's...
to do about this, or just move on?
Do we
Mildly
find anything,
creepy.
like any signs of struggle around the area? Like, I don't know, sword marks in trees or something?
Give me a survival check an investigation check to search the area for clues.
Oh no. This is a bad roll.
You will find a section of torn cloth on a cactus, maybe 15 feet away from her, where she lays now. Looks like something got stuck on a cactus spine and ripped off of her a little bit.
So the cloth
What is
matches the clothes on her?
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm guessing they were running, probably.
I would like to ritual cast detect magic. There may be nothing here, but I just feel like everyone's investigating. I want to do something too.
You're just bored.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, like from my perspective, I just see you all like, like, oh yes, there's cloth over here, and I want to feel helpful.
Well, you find that same moderate level of magic that pervades everything, but that's about it.
Okay. No magic here, people. I think that this was natural causes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good to know.
Great. And on with the journey we go.
Indeed.
day is no encounter. And then the third day, about 36 miles. Actually, on the second day, you will come across this large canyon with a river running through it, which you are pretty certain heads to this little tiny village at the end. You visited it once or twice. It was attacked by draconians. I don't know if there's anything you want to do or stop there, or if you just want to move on. You get there sort of midday, so if you stop, it'll take half a day out of your travel time.
I don't think there's anything we want to do there.
No.
Great, then we can just move on. 36. So 2 days will get us to about this little soft area. Our next day of traveling, you don't quite get to Fairport today, but what you do see in the evening is a large smokestack, or a large amount of smoke arising from what looks like a controlled fire. Looks like maybe a big campfire sitting to the east, the west of you a little bit, a few miles, over a couple of hills. There's no way to know what it is. But in the evening, there's quite a bit of smoke rising from the zone.
Do we go investigate, or should we just camp here?
Well, I don't know. Guess we could investigate. Up to you, I guess.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
investigate.
Wait, so what day is it now? It is the
This is
second?
fourth day of travel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is when the fourth. The second. I swear to God, I know my numbers.
Okay. I mean, if it's not too far, I imagine we can just go investigate, see what it is.
Yeah, it's maybe a half hour out of your way.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Going up and down and over some hills. Eventually you can get to the top of one, and peering over, you will see an encampment of what appears to be about 9 hobgoblins. They are roasting some sort of animal over a fire. The hobgoblins are all sort of sitting back. There's a little bit of like a spring near them, and they're splashing themselves with water and then going and sitting. They've got like fur over them, so the heat is pretty annoying. Like you, Pearl, we didn't really talk about it. We kind of glossed over it, but you don't wear armor, but you are covered in fur, so the heat has got to be pretty hard for you to deal with. The hobgoblins are similarly furred, not as much, but similar coats, more of an orange color. And they seem to be struggling with the heat. You can see that none of them are wearing armor, and their weapons are kind of nearby. And whoever it is that's like turning the creature on the spit is doing so at like maximum arm range to stay away from the fire. And they all seem hot and exhausted. But there's 9 of them.
We're gonna leave them alone, I think. We don't want to start anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
How close are we to Fairport?
You're pretty sure it's tomorrow that you'll get there.
Okay.
It might be 1 more hill, it could be 10 more hills, but sometime tomorrow.
I will note down the location of these hobgoblins to see if Silvana wants a snack tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Well then, the next day, you will make your way towards Fairport and come through that pass. That pass that is guarded by a silver dragon. As you come on through, who's in the point on your way through the pass?
Imagine Kyra
I will
is
be
always on point, right?
Well, yes, I want to follow Kyra though, and as we go through this pass that I'm very aware that Silvano is, be playing his like ballad. I don't know, whatever it is that I made for him.
Theme song.
Certainly.
A theme song for sure.
Well, he is out there, sitting right out of the entrance of his lair, basking in the heat, bringing out his wings in sort of like a cone. You know how sometimes people will use one of those like reflective mirrors to bask in the sun? He's using like the reflection on his scales to set up like a parabolic mirror to like bake himself in the heat a little bit more. His eyes are sort of like half closed. His tongue is like flicking out back and forth. He seems to be super enjoying the heat. But as the music comes, one eye lazily opens in your direction, and a little bit of smoke curls out of his nose, and he breathes in your direction. Hello.
Why, hello, Silvano. Enjoying the weather, I see.
Splendid.
Well, I have something that may or may not make your day a little bit more splendid. There's some good snacks out on the plain for you. We spotted 9 hobgoblins roaming the land.
9 hobgoblins. Start to stretch a little bit, wings fold in. Could you give me a direction?
Yeah, and I'll explain how long it took for us to walk and what direction and whatnot.
He takes a more serious look at you. I recognize you and the two of you. This isn't perchance some sort of trick to get me to leave my lair, is it?
No. We saw the 9 hobgoblins, thought it's probably a little too much for us to take out, but figured that improving the security of this town and giving you a little snack would be a good compromise, or good deal.
Give me a charisma check here. 'Cause the dragon's a little wary of you. Someone telling the dragon to like leave his lair. Age-old trick to get the dragon's treasure. You know, they are, despite being a good-natured creature, greedy and jealous and somewhat paranoid. Just a smidge.
Yeah,
Well, I'll notice this paranoid and say, well, we'll leave you to it and see if you want to go or not, and I'll start walking away towards the town.
Yeah, he makes an insight check. He trusts you. He sees that you're being an honest person here. And waiting for you to walk away a little bit, you know, maybe 100 feet or so, the dragon will take a couple steps down the canyon and then leap into the air, spreading his massive wings, and sail off towards the south. Hopefully in looks of hobgoblins.
Nice.
And a few minutes later, a little while later, you come through the gentle farmland along the river's edge and make your way into the town of Fairport, into Tristel's hometown, which is going nice. Place is happy. People are seemingly doing well. There's walls. They're prospering. Trade is bustling back and forth. There's a bunch of dwarves walking down the street doing some sort of parade-like thing. They've got drums and flutes that they're blowing on, and who knows what the hell these dwarves are up to. But the town appears to be, like Trog Canyon, a little corner of the world where hope and people can thrive and survive, where there are no threats. There's a great silver dragon protecting them, plenty of food, a little slice of heaven right here in the old Farron Empire.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to do in town? Things, people to see, things to check up on, or are you just like taking a nap?
I think just take a rest.
What's the, can we ask some, I guess, parade viewers what the occasion is?
Yes. Today is the Remembrance Day of the great dwarven clan of great dwarven clan of Heets, Heets. They are the clan that came here to was it Fairport and settled it so long ago. I mean, didn't settle it, but settled it for dwarves. You know, it was a human area mostly, and then the Heat clan came in. And today is the day that people use to remember the time our people came here so long ago and became part of the civilization, part of the town, part of society. And every year on this day, they do a little parade through town and make some music and hand out some dwarven goods to sort of remember the goodwill of the people and return the goodwill of the people who so warmly welcomed the Heat clan to town.
Nice.
What a good.
I like it.
Just tell her, you can go
joke
see your mother?
somewhere-
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a joke in my head somewhere about a heat wave.
That's
Um,
unfortunate.
well, right now we're on business.
Oh my god, you're coming to town on business and you're not gonna see your mom? What a bad daughter.
I am a bad daughter. Well, maybe we can check in on the way back.
Yeah, you don't have to justify it to me, you know.
She wasn't expecting me.
You know, if you don't even say anything, she wouldn't even know that you came to town, right?
True.
Wow.
She's not friends with the town guard who's watching the front gate. Not at all. Yeah.
No.
Nobody recognizes Tristel, the great bard.
Certainly not gonna get around word that she's back in town. Great.
Mother
Well, the
understands I'm very busy.
The party can rest for a day in Fairport. We don't have to go into any of the details. And I guess after that, it's just heading up the river.
Yep.
Yes.
Stocking up on rations, though, I guess. How many rations are we gonna need for this trip, do we think?
I think we can
We've gone
probably
through
just
4?
skip that because we have that alpaca and just. Right now, I'm just encumbered on my sheet because why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it should take about 80 miles. And you probably make 15 miles a day here, so you expect about 6 days if everything goes according to plan.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the question of, do we want to talk to that one person that could help us guide us up the river for some coin? Or do we want to go on our...
Oh,
I forgot about that.
was he from Fairport?
I don't know.
Oh, was this the same person who we got the map extension from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were a traveling merchant.
The traveling merchant told us about this person.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Where are my notes?
How do we find this lad?
No. Wrong name.
Let's see. That was Wiley's Wondrous Shop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was back when I couldn't take notes, so things are very sparse for me.
Uh,
Yeah.
Told you
There's a
spit
person
in
called Jezebel that can navigate the river for coin. I think they lived somewhere near here, but I forget exactly where.
I would like to exchange coin for navigation.
But if I recall, it was pretty expensive.
Well, how expensive? We got cash.
Yeah.
10 gold per person per way.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we only need someone's help one way. Oh wait, but then we have to transport her back, right?
No. They'll help you navigate whichever direction you want and charge you 10 gold for that.
60 gold.
Each.
That's
What
like-
if only one of us wants help navigating? So
the others
I pay the
just
10
tag
gold.
along?
yeah, they just like go like this, like cover their ears.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
we-
that'll work.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just like do stealth checks all the way and try to sneak behind.
Your cargo. Or invis.
True.
Yes, that's a wise use of spell slots.
One thing that might be advantageous is the fee for getting just a verbal description of ways to go and ways to avoid might be a lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, let's see if we can't negotiate that.
Great. So wander up the river and hope you run into Jezebel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. Excellent. Our party will head out. You will see Sylvanotheris still hanging out in that area. He will give you a clawed wave during the middle of this heat wave. Tell you that the snack was scrumptious. And the hobgoblins even had some coinage on them that he was able to add to his hoard.
Nice.
Thanks you for the gift and the offering.
Thank you.
And reminds you, if you know of any criminals, bring them to me. I shall dispose of them for you.
So dark.
Oh, speaking of the criminals, I guess. We were considering heading up north, upriver. Do you know of any specific dangers we should look out for?
Oh, yes. I've spoken to a great extent with Wiley and his wondrous shop of wares. He has informed me of a great many dangers up the river.
Have you seen these dangers?
No.
Because we
Well,
also
one
only
or two
heard
of
about them
them.
from the same person. So,
Such as? Dangers such as?
The manticores of the area. Are you familiar with a manticore? Dear
No.
little creatures.
We're not.
Mortal. Let me tell you about the beasts. He positions himself comfortably and dives into a story.
I also position myself comfortably. It's story time.
Manticores. He seems to like to chat with people. The manticore is a true monster with a leonine torso and legs, bat-like wings, the head of a man, and a tail tipped with iron spikes, and an appetite for human flesh.
Does that mean I will
And
be
about 6 feet tall at the shoulder, maybe 15 feet long, a 25-foot wingspan. Nothing compared to a majestic beast like myself, but for you mere mortals, they're vicious. Not particularly smart, but courageous, approaching on stupid. Their iron spikes on the backs of their tails can be hurled with a simple flick of a wrist, like some sort of ranged porcupine. Their claws rend
Wow.
flesh. Their humanoid faces have big, sharp, lion-like teeth in them. And taking a moment, he will... Apparently, Sylvanotheris is a great artist. He will draw out for you a little doodle of a manticore.
Damn.
Damn.
Wow, what a lad.
Neat.
Yes.
I want to
yes.
give a round of applause. Such a riveting story, such a vivid description.
Thank you.
Terrifying.
Anyway, I've seen such a creature nestled in the mountains near Ipsum, flying about, looking for prey down below. I pray you do not come across such a monster.
Yeah, goodness. Have you been to Ipsum?
I have not. I come from farther to the north. Than this here, the heat of these mountains, easy caves. This is where I like to lair. Not in the tall wintry peaks or deep within the forest. Too much shade, not enough sunshine. Besides, the sea air does wonders for the lungs. When I was but a hatchling, I used to have breathing problems. My mother always said the sea air would be good for me, as well as the desert heats. And he launches into his childhood problems of like asthma as a small dragon wormling.
Oh, no.
I relate.
And after a longer discussion than you would have liked to have, but how do you interrupt a dragon? Some other merchant or traveler comes along the road, and he gives you the like wave on claw as he like comes out of his lair a little bit and goes to accost and interrogate or have a nice conversation with the next traveler, giving you plenty of time to escape the dragon's lectures.
Okay.
And up the river we go, towards Ipsum, and hopefully finding Jezebel along the way. But we should take our break right here and do that on the other side.
Right. See you in a little bit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Embers of the Wild. Our party heads out. They head west, and then they're going to head north, looking for Jezebel, looking for signs of peaceful passage, and rolling checks for encounters. Where is the appropriate traveling music? Here we go. All right. Our first few days... First day or so is going to be coming along the river leading from Fairport. And there are, aside from the dragon seeing you go, there's no real encounters here. You will take a turn at the river, and the hills will continue sort of up and up and up and up. Your second day traveling up the river is similarly uneventful. The temperature is still sweltering, but in the distance you can see, as you head like uphill a little bit, that there is some sort of great forest in the beyond, and that the hills sort of like give way to more flat land. The river valley begins to widen a little bit each and every day, giving you like larger sides, more tree cover. The temperature drops a little bit as you get within the shade. I mean, the air is still plenty hot, but over here it's a little bit cooler. Still too hot to wear armor, though. The third day of your travel is when you properly enter the woods, and you can't even see the hills anymore. The terrain's a little bit rugged, but now there's enough tree cover that blocks your path that you can't see. You can't see really the terrain. The mountains still peek up over the trees wherever there's a little gap between them. The river gives you enough water to cool yourself that you're not going to be overheating too much from this walking. But I do need everyone in the party to make me a perception check.
Ooh, Kyra all the way is on the lookout.
Well,
Nice.
Kyra, actually all of you will spot this structure. As you're coming up the river on the third day, you will see a little bit of a rise of like a stony, rocky outcropping, on top of which is a watchtower, a tall wooden watchtower, and next to that a small, not this small, a medium-sized building, like just a single pointed roof made of wood.
Does it look like someone's actively living there, or does it look abandoned?
It does look upkept. It does not look abandoned or destroyed.
Yeah, let's go say hi.
Okay.
Going to
third
bring you
day,
to
what day
this.
would that be? Would that be the 6th, or? Because I imagine we stayed at Fairport
Yes.
overnight. Yeah. Okay.
Right, you stayed in Fairport on the 3rd, so the 6th is when you find this place.
Okay.
So you will be approaching from the south side of this map, and there's this big rocky outcropping that rises maybe 30 feet up in the air and then slowly descends along the sides. And as you get towards the back of it, you'll see that there are these spiky walls and like palisades set up. This section of wall is actually closed right now. And out here in front at this little opening is a singular person. It is ooh, a youngish man, maybe like 31 years old, wearing a shield over one arm and a spear over the other, and he looks prepared. It looks like he knows you're coming around because you've got to like come up and around the sides. He must have seen you at some point and hurried to this position, spear and shield in hand. The shield is a nice big broad tall tower shield that can like block the entire entryway, and he's got the spear beside him. His eyes dart from the side to look at the three of you approaching.
I'll call out and
Back!
say, oh,
Back! This is a silvered spear. I'll get you.
we're not undead, or what? Why would you be using silver? Anyway, we come in with friends. We mean no harm.
It's with the lycanthrope, he says, pointing the spear in the direction of Pearl.
I'm not a lycanthrope. I promise.
She's not a lycanthrope.
She's a tabaxi.
Soft stances.
Have you not heard of our people?
The stance softens. The stance softens. Tabaxi, huh? And digging around in a pocket, he will pull out, setting the spear down gently, quickly, pulls out a silver coin and tosses it to you. Put this in your mouth. Let's see if you're really a tabaxi.
Wait, put the coin in my mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver is anti-werewolf. Just do it. It's fine.
But what if I am a lycanthrope, but I just don't know it? Will this kill me?
Pearl, you'll be
Can
fine.
we keep the silver?
We know
out
that
there?
you're a tabaxi. You're fine.
How do we really know, though?
Who told you you're a tabaxi? We got some trustworthy people behind this.
Okay. And I hold up the coin in front of me, looking at it for a very long time. And I first want to try to just lick it very quickly to see if it burns or if it just like starts
It tastes like
disintegrating.
a subway handrail.
Lovely.
Okay, since I don't know anything about bacteria, I'm gonna put it in my mouth.
Great.
Nervously
yeah, it's
wait
just
for
a-
my head to explode.
Nothing happens. It's just a silver coin in your mouth.
Am I alive?
Yes, Pearl, you are fine. You're not a lycanthrope.
I spit it out. This tastes
Puts the
gross.
shield down, unwraps the shield from his arm and sets it down. Says, apologies, you can never be too careful around here. The forest is filled with were-tigers. Not that you look much like a tiger, but who knows, maybe an albino were-tiger or something.
Yeah. I understand. The world is dangerous. Can never hurt to have some precautions.
Have you tried eating this coin?
I handed it to you.
Have you tried like having it in your mouth? Maybe you're a lycanthrope as well.
Then don't come visit. I happened to come to your doorstep. You came to mine.
Valid,
True,
valid.
but anyway, how are you doing in these parts of the woods?
We're doing as well as can be expected. I assume you're here for passage up and down the river?
Indeed. Is this the residence of Jezebel?
It is. That is my mother. I am Bruce, her son.
It's nice to meet you, Bruce. Oh, I am Pearl.
I bow with flourish. Tristel.
The Tristel?
Oh, so you've heard of me.
Of course, yes. My God, please, Tristel, come in. Any friend of Tristel's is a friend of ours. And he quickly makes way for you and ushers you inside the large building, medium-sized building, at the top of the hill. It's a very
Yeah.
large one-room home. Big floor, large fireplace near the back, kitchen on one side, 3 beds on the other side, a couple of tables, some weapons on the wall. There's a couple of canoes stored in here, along with some paddles and some tarps and barrels full of food. There's a little hatch in the ground that looks like it leads down to a cellar of some kind. You can see bows and arrows and shields and spears, all sorts of stuff in this well-defended, reinforced building. You notice the big front door on it that's large enough for you to haul all your gear in and out has room for a very heavy bar to be placed across it in the need of siege or something like that. And you'll see that the weapons about are mostly iron-based, but there are a couple of silvered weapons, including the silver spear that he has. And there's a clutch of silver arrows tucked away on a high shelf somewhere, just in case. You are quickly welcomed in, and some woman, probably Jezebel, starts, berating the guy for letting people in, and then he's like, "But hold on! This is Tristel!" The mother looks and cocks her head at you and goes, "Oh, I saw you perform once at the Half Shell, maybe 10 years ago." Half Shell's a tavern in Fairport.
I'm so flattered. That must have been my early days of performing. Well, I'll consider you one of my longest fans. One of my oldest fans.
That's pretty good. We don't get a lot of music out here in the woods.
I can imagine not.
It's been a long time since I've heard anything.
Why don't you play something, Tristel?
Sure. What shall I play? Would you like something uplifting? Would you like something adventurous?
Something melancholy.
Oh.
Melancholy. I'm trying to think of my existing songs. I'll play one of my oldest hits, Trog Lover, the heart-wrenching story of a troglodyte that woke up to find that the one that he had fallen in love with was no trog, but actually a human in disguise. Ere their love would never come to fruition. Was a passing dream, and so I'll break into the song.
Did you just steal the lyrics from the Final Fantasy VI opera?
No.
Okay.
It's they lined up very well.
Was it really? That's incredible.
Yeah, give me a performance check. Let's see how this old cranky woman feels about melancholy music for the first time in years. How well can you please the crowd? Oh my god! You bring tears to the old woman's eyes. Her husband stops cutting wood by the fire and comes over and rests a hand on her. The son leans against a wall and looks up pensively at the ceiling. You notice there are a couple of other young people around who come out of whatever little work they were doing on the side, and soon the whole party and the whole residents of this building are gathered forth, listening to this song, just breaking their hearts about lost love. It resonates with the young people who really don't get to meet very many people from far away. They're with their family the whole time. Love songs they wreck their poor, abandoned hearts. And by the time the song ends, there's just a gentle weeping in the background. Jezebel gets up, sort of straightens her back, comes over and wraps her arms around you in just, a large but gentle, tender embrace.
That's right. Let it out.
That was beautiful. That was amazing. I haven't heard a song like that in I don't know how long. Where did you learn to do such to make such beautiful emotions with sound?
Well, I've been trained in many years, but a song like this really comes from somewhere I can't explain. Really, I am just a vessel with which this music makes its way and manifests in the world.
Wipes away a tear. Sits down, takes a moment to herself. Harold, get this lovely young woman and her friends something to eat. Please, what are you doing over there? I'm sorry, he's so useless sometimes. Anyway, I think I've imposed upon you enough. What brings you to our little camp here?
Well, we're actually making our way up the river, and funny enough, we have come across a traveler that gave us the information that you might be a good person to help us in that quest.
We can help bring travelers up and down the river safely. There's much of the area that is quite navigatable, and parts that are unfordable, and a few areas where you have to know to leave the river, else you'll walk up and get trapped and have to double back for miles. It's a treacherous part of the world over here.
Yeah, so we've heard. It seems very dangerous.
There are monsters about too.
What is Ipsum like right now?
It's not for me to judge the way people live.
So it's not destroyed.
It's intact. Physically. It's a dark and dreary place, I think. Town is split by bandit gangs, or gangs? Two different gangs run the place.
Scary.
Is it a violent and dangerous place, or can people visit?
It's not without its own dangers, but there are people who live there and commerce that does happen. I would keep my wits about me, but she looks to the three of you. She points a finger at Tristel. You should be careful. They might take too kind of a liking to you. Someone that's able to move people like that, you might find yourself a prisoner, forced to play for one of the leaders. You,
What
she
leader?
points at Pearl. You might be fine. There are, as I
Oh, that's
said,
good.
lycanthropes around here. Some of the bandits in town seem to have taken a shining to them.
Oh.
Then she turns over, looks at Kyra. You're a strong lass. You look like you could take care of yourself. You probably are fine.
Thank you.
I nod. So, do you perhaps know? We heard rumors that there might be a wizard. Maven was their name. Have you
Yep.
met them, or are they
They still
in
around?
Ipsum?
I've not met Maven. Plenty of people talk about him like he's still alive. I mentioned the two gangs, Ipsum, that run Ipsum. Maven's is one of them. So I have the name written down here.
It'd
but-
be pretty understandable that the gang leader would be pretty reclusive.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the night, Pan knocked over a glass of water all over my notes and calendars, and so they're all very difficult to read now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That should teach me not
Very
to
good.
leave full glasses of water anywhere in the house.
Oh no.
It's just a smudge. I can't remember the name of the other gang leader right now.
I'm trying to remember if we've heard. Have you told us, or
I don't think so.
No.
we know
The
that there was
gang
a
leader
prince
says no.
called Zumaya?
Oh
But I
yeah,
think they
he's a
were-
little.
But I think they were on Maven's side, maybe? Because it sounds like they were, or from what I remember, it seems like they were friends or something.
I think Maven served Zumaya, and then the prince died, and the prince and his men used T-Rexes as like mounts to sort of keep order. And then when they died, the T-Rexes got loose, and Maven was rumored to be in charge or still around. Jezebel here claims that he's still alive and is just sort of like not seen but heard of, or like, you know, controls people from the background. Or maybe he's like, the rumor of Maven is the thing that is holding things together when he's actually dead, because no one's seen him. And then there's the other clan who's... It's just a blur. We will rename the other clan then. It's something to do with... we're just gonna call them the Tigress clan.
Wolf
The
gang.
Tigress gang, yeah.
Tiger gang. Tiger squad. Tiger troop. I don't know.
Tigress, like the Tigris and Euphrates River. Tigress gang. The Tigress gang has the front of the city, and Maven's people have the back. So you have to go through the Tigress to get in. But they say Maven's people control the heart of the town and access to the lake at the back of it. Walls of Ipsum are tall and strong and almost impassable. You'll have to go through the front gates. As long as you pay your entry fees and appropriate taxes and don't cause too much trouble, you should make it through just fine. We can get you up there. The 4 of you, she says, also pointing to your llama, for 40 gold. Guarantee you safe passage all the way to the gates. And if you'd like, we'll lead you back as well. The route back is easy to forget. Lots of dangers.
It's a steep price. We'll be frank about it.
What's your life worth to you?
I call for us to talk in private.
Please, please. Harold, bring them some cornbread, please. And Harold will bring you some cornbread and a couple of, glasses of boiled water, and leave you to your corner where you can talk amongst yourselves while Jezebel and her family recount the beautiful song of Tristell's and, talk about it for a little while.
Yeah, so
40 G's.
It's quite a lot.
yeah.
Pricey. It's like most of our money. Well, I don't know how much money y'all have. I wasted all mine on dresses, so it's most of my money.
When is the last time that I got a salary? I feel like it's been a while.
It has. But you've also been away.
But that's been like sheriff business for the most part, right?
How does that work when Kyra leaves town?
Because if it's sheriff's
Do you have to be
business, then it
on
should be
duty?
fine.
Let's see.
Because I'm doing 0 hunting when
Yeah,
we're adventuring.
your money, your income is contingent on the ability to hunt.
Well, also, I think the last 5 sessions have taken place all in the same 1 month. If
Ah,
I'm looking
right.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Kyra salaried?
She is, unfortunately, for the town.
Is there a bonus structure?
Barnaby doesn't have his stuff together well enough, or maybe he has it together well enough that there's no bonus structure. Is he incompetent or really good at his job?
Frugal.
It's only
True.
16 a month, so it's not gonna help that much.
You guys are strong. You don't need. Well, there's also gold on the ground here, but you don't need these people's help, do you?
Maybe we should just ask for the. Yeah, maybe we should just ask for like. You don't have to guide us, but maybe help us annotate this map with a bit of info.
Yeah, maybe like 10 gold for filling out the map and telling us the route rather than accompanying us.
For 10 gold, she will fill out your map, but the route can't really be explained. You know, that's what she sells. She's not gonna give you her knowledge for half price or quarter price.
We got this.
Do we?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
I don't know.
Okay.
When
How
have
much
we
gold
not
do you
got
two
this?
have?
I have 32.
33.
I have 42.
I mean, I think I have a bunch of silver at home as well.
Yeah, I do too.
So,
I think we can pay.
yeah, this is just
Okay.
what I have on me.
Yeah, because I have 100 gold at home in the form of silver.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are rich?
Yeah.
You should be
I'm
rich
zero.
too from the Northridge
I
Hall.
should be, huh?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
yet
I think I have a lot
that's-
as well.
I don't have any silver back home. These dresses were like 25 gold a pop.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And my daggers.
Yeah, I think we can do it. Let's do it.
Yes, we got this.
So-
So from each of us, are we gonna
12.5?
just divvy up the 40?
What is 40 over 3? 13.3.
Okay.
So I guess I'll pay 14 and y'all pay 13.
Okay.
Sure. Fine. Now we will have this knowledge.
Yes.
Do we also get the map filled out? If, we pay
If you
40?
want the map as well, it's going to be a little bit more.
I
Do we get
want
like a
the
half
map.
price, like 5 gold?
No, the map is 10. And
Yeah,
then
but like included. 50% off with the purchase
What
of
if-
navigation.
What if I provide live entertainment on the boat?
Ooh, now you're talking.
Compromise the safety of the steering.
I'll fill her ears with songs that'll last her another decade.
All right. Okay. If you will perform during the trip, then she will agree to fill out the map, or have Harold fill out the map on your behalf.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I wanted that map real bad.
That's so useful.
Oops. A little bit of an error on the map right here. We'll just cut this out so you don't have to see it.
You know, this is kind of a tangent, and it almost feels accusatory to say this, but I actually really appreciate this. So it's supposed to be a map that's like on a hide or something like that, right? But the islands in the southeast are like disconnected, and it's like, how does that work?
Those are. There's a special name for this type of terrain feature. You'll see it in like on the southern coast of Texas, and you'll see it
Like
in
North
New England
Carolina?
a lot. Yeah, in North Carolina, where you've got like a big sort of, not quite a bayou, but like a big river exits, and then there'll be like a big water area, and then there'll be like a coastal ring of like a, not quite sand dunes, but sort of like a protective thing that comes along the coast with little inlets, and then like big watery, sloughy what's the word for that? Like still water, like brackish ocean meets river, but it's
Yeah.
sort of flat and still, like an estuary style thing.
But
There's a
Yes.
very specific name for this terrain feature, and it was included intentionally.
How is that attached physically to the map?
Oh, physically. The map is supposed to have blue water in between those,
Oh,
but
right.
the way that I was rendering the map left out the water layer.
Gotcha.
I see the
Fun.
question that you're asking. But,
That's funny. No, I might. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that Corpus Christi in Texas has a lot of that. Yep.
and North Carolina, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been to Kitty Hawk, which is on that in North Carolina. So, thank you.
Wow, wow, wow.
That's a flappy
Geography's
plane, Wright
fun.
brothers.
Flappy plane. Yeah.
Wait, what?
The first powered flight, heavier than air flight, Wright brothers,
Oh, right.
was on one of these beachy thingies.
Neat.
It was also the name of the first. Was it just the name of the place where they were testing it, or was that also the name of the vessel?
No, the plane
Craft.
was named the Wright Flyer, I think.
Okay, you are absolutely correct. That sounds super familiar. Okay, let me just match up the mountains. So we got the right size of our terrain. Oh god, it resized itself. Oh, you monster.
The map.
Yeah, when I dragged it
Yeah,
and
I
dropped
noticed
it.
that.
Oh, you little brat. How could you? Why would you?
I'm so proud of the progress we've made on this map. I was just comparing it with the first iteration that didn't have the up top edition that we're now exploring.
Okay, so you can see this, yeah? Are we on the... No, you're on the wrong page. Here we go.
Nice. Heck
Yeah,
yeah,
we
this
get rid
is
of
all that I
the-
wanted in life.
Oh, nice.
Oh, this is so
So
good.
lush.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Yes, they will tell you about this area, that Ipsum is at the end of this big valley. There's a huge lake on the back side of it. The mountains sort of make a big sort of protected zone here that is definitely elevated. Like there's a huge slant to this. Trees will go most of the way up the mountains, but the mountains are tall enough that there is like a very specific tree line where they will not go beyond. The mountain at the very back of Ipsum is snow-capped for most of the year, not all of the year. And that the mountain range extends this way, and Jezebel tells you that she thinks the range just keeps coming down like this, but she doesn't really know. She's an expert in this region and can sort of see this section of mountains, and has heard that it comes off this way, where it like intersects the Three Sisters. But that's all she's got for you.
Thank you.
Harold, is that her husband's name?
That's her husband, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Was he the one that illustrated this? I just
Mhm.
wanted to thank
It
him.
is. Yes, he inked the map. Thank you, young lady. It's been a long time since I've had a kind word from someone in the house.
Rip.
And you decided to take her passage, right? So she's going to
Yes.
bring with you. So this will dramatically reduce your chance of encounter. Instead of, I don't want to give you the exact numbers, but instead of a greater than 50% chance of encounter per day, we're going to drop to significantly less than 50% chance of encounter per day.
Word.
And it will
Word.
take us 3 more days from here
Right.
to Ipsum with her as your guide.
So this is probably a good idea to just pony up the cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, who needs that extra experience? First day. Nice and easy travel, going up the river. You get to a certain point, and the river looks pretty easy and passable, and Jezebel is pulling like a very large canoe up the river. At a certain point, she stops, and 2 of her children will pop out and grab the canoe and hoist it above them, and you'll dart inland. You'll actually cross the river, or stay on your side of the river, the east side of the river for a little while and dart inland for a couple of miles, and then U-turn back, seemingly out of nowhere, but she looks like she knows what she's doing. And there will be no encounters on this day. The next day, she will have you guys cross the river once, march for a few miles, cross the river again, march for a few miles, cross the river again, and then march for a few miles before camping. She'll tell you that the terrain on either side of the river becomes very difficult in some of these places. It can get quite steep, and it's technically passable, but in the past, some people have lost their footing and tumbled down, hurt themselves, caused rock slides. The rock slides attract enemies and monsters. And she also mentions one of these diversions is because there's a thing. I don't have a name for this creature, but it has one big eye in the center of its face, and then an eye in each of its hands, and it lurks, comes down out of that mountain, lurks in this area. We don't know what it is, but we suspect it's up to no good, since it always keeps its distance and eyes people from a great range. All right, third day. Here we go. Come on, low numbers.
Tangent.
Chance.
H-Bomber Guy made a really good video about eyes and hands in video games.
Oh, I've seen that.
Cause like,
Which one was that?
It's a weirdly common concept of like.
It is common,
eyes
yeah.
and
I'm thinking
hands.
like Zelda.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for derailing.
The third day has no encounters either. Your money has paid off well. Two of these were really, really close.
What day do we arrive on?
All right.
Because I never know if like
Ninth.
we should count the first day when we say the third day, or if we should skip the first. There's this off by one issue that's haunting me every
You
time.
code too much, Freya.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what floor we live on.
Oh. How do you count your floors over there?
Okay,
So
but
Europe-
that's hard
okay.
because sometimes
Okay.
it's the lobby, sometimes it's one.
So Europe always does ground first, second. The US always does first, second, third. So we live on the second floor.
But I feel like it should be the third.
But is it really the second, you know?
Well, it's the first floor that you stand on should be the ground floor, right? It's the first floor.
Yeah.
It's not the null floor.
Exactly.
Isn't the Swedish like
I
word
think
TR?
floor 0 should exist.
What does
Really?
TR stand for?
Wait, no, you're right.
Isn't that like
First,
stairwell?
mine's confusing
Yeah.
because there's a mid-level. So technically,
half
I think
floor?
this is yeah, where like you can get into the garage. Anyways,
So the Swedish word for like floor that people usually use is like TR. So like 2TR, which stands for like stairs. And so you go up 2 stairs.
See, that makes sense. If you say I live on the first stair or I live on the second stair,
Yeah.
that's sensible. But if we're gonna say floor,
Yeah.
it's complex.
At least it's not my office where you walk into the front door and then you're on the second floor. And it's not even on a
That-
hill.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
well, at the end of 3 days, inclusively, you will arrive at Ipsum.
On what date? I don't know what inclusively.
9th of October.
9th? Sorry, what?
9th of October.
Okay.
Jezebel will leave before getting all the way to the gate. So, like, you get to the front of the place, and she's gonna peace out at this point. But first, asking if you would like her to guide you on your way back, or if you think you know the way well enough that you don't want her to stick around.
I take a look at my memory and do a check to see how well I remember this memory. See how well I
It will
can-
be a survival check from whoever's got the best survival skill to see if you can
jeez.
remember your way back.
I think
But
we
not
got
now.
this.
It'll be a survival
Yeah?
check when you do it.
We got this.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
Great.
Okay.
then Jezebel and her children will turn around and head back, leaving the three of you at the gates of Ipsum. And when we come back on the other side of our break, we will talk about the gates of Ipsum.
Oh, okay. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Embers of the Wilds. Our party is approaching the gates of Ipsum. Are we ready?
Yes.
Well, you tell me. I'm not sure what we're about to find out.
We're ready to find out.
Yes, that we are.
Oh.
Who is in the lead? Because there's a stone path about 10 feet wide, old cobblestone, still in pretty good condition, that leads out of the front, you know, showing that once upon a time there would have been like a proper road out of here. It's been damaged a little bit, you know, it's a couple hundred feet out of town, but once you get pretty close to the walls itself, you can see it's still in good condition. So who is at the front of the 10-foot path?
I will.
Who's leading the
I'll
llama?
lead the charge.
I vote Kyra.
Yes. I think by default Kyra is always in the front because Kyra is like strong.
And who's in the back pulling the llama?
Sorry, what?
Who's in the back pulling the llama?
Probably me, I guess. Yeah.
At this point, you're kind of like, I don't know, you've done like a lot of the animal handling checks and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. I feel like you have a connection with the llamas.
I think this time I'm also gonna have. I think I'm gonna have the hood this time again as well.
Yeah.
They
The
might
hood up?
ask me to not have it on, but I'm gonna attempt to have it on because I don't know. There's lycanthropes about.
Sure. You get towards the gates, and you'll see three faces on the top of the wall looking down at you all. One of the people up there gives a call out. Hello, fair travelers! Welcome to the glorious city of Ipsum. How's your journey? He says, with the gates still closed.
Thankfully uneventful. Yeah.
Well, welcome. I'm sure you're tired, looking for a place to rest. Maybe refresh your supplies? Come to do some trading, perhaps? Either way, it's 5 gold per head to get in, plus 1 gold per pack animal.
Oof.
Ow.
That's. We can do that, right? That's fine.
I
Yes.
guess it's fine.
Well, we can do it. I don't know if it's fine, but
Was it 10 gold per person?
5 gold per person.
5 gold per person. Oh, and per
Plus
pack
1
animal.
per pack animal.
will you
Should I
take
pay
it
for the
in
pack
silver?
animal, or?
Sure.
Silver's fine. Happy to take it in silver.
Wonderful.
So everyone please deduct 50 silver or 5 gold, and someone ship out an extra 10 silver or 1 gold for the llama.
Oh, 1 gold for the llama.
1 gold for the llama. Yeah, it's not a full-fledged person.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do both me and the llama.
Great.
Thanks.
The rest of you have paid off your sheets?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. Once you produce the money, you'll see the gate just sort of opens, revealing a 4th person down below who welcomes you in, waves you forward, and allows the 4 of you to come into town. Very quickly, you'll see that the town of Ipsum is maybe not in the greatest of shape. May I direct your attention slightly to the east, where you'll notice a large section of town has just been burned down, is in complete disarray and destruction. But these buildings here look like they're upkept fairly well. You can see faces poking out of windows watching the newcomers. This building right here is a tavern and an inn combination right by the front gates. You can see down here, these seem to be some sort of houses or domiciles. There's some kids playing in the little courtyard over here. Other people just going about their daily lives. And you don't quite have that same oppressed feel that you got in Kaela. Things are, it's not overly crowded. Things aren't too tall. There's not like a sickness in the streets. But there is maybe a bit of a wariness. Like the kids know not to leave this little passageway or courtyard over here. None of them come out this way. When their ball that they're playing around gets kicked this way, they sort of look from a distance until one of the parents comes over and fetches the ball and comes back. And there's like a little bit of caution in the air. And this burned area looks old. Like it's been burned and then rained upon and then dried out and then snowed upon and dried out. It's got that like decay sense to it. And these people guarding the gates, I know their tokens are all the same, but their clothes are mismatched. They don't have like a proper uniform. They don't fly flags or colors. For weapons, they just have these like clubs they carry at their sides. There's sort of a mismatched sort of like street gang feel to them as you take a look about. And the one here on the ground takes a look to the three of you and says, welcome to Ipsum. What will be your trade here? How can I help you get around our fair town?
Oh boy.
Well, we were looking for a place to stay to begin with, I suppose.
He points right across the way. The Long-Haired Troll. Great inn. Great tavern. I would recommend staying there. You don't want to go too deep into town. You wouldn't want to run into the stewards over there.
The stewards being
Stewards.
Maven's half of town?
Oh, you've heard of them.
Yeah, we've heard
Remnants
some
of the
rumors
old
about-
people trying to maintain their law and enforcement of this area, but really just holed up in their castle, coming out to raid, take money from people, lock up those who have done them wrong. Bunch of miscreants, if you ask me.
Well, good to know.
If you have any problems, come see us, the Tigress clan. We will make sure to smooth over any details. We don't believe in jailing people. Most problems can be worked out face to face, person to person, Gives you a flashing, winning smile.
Seems like something Kyra would appreciate.
Sure.
Is that a lute on your back? He says, looking at
Liar?
Tristil. Liar on your back? Why, I don't know the difference between lutes and liars. I haven't had a musician come through here in some time. Perhaps
that
you'd like
so?
to play for our boss, Opal.
Your boss. Where could we find them?
Well, why don't I show you? The way it's
Tristel?
complicated. I wouldn't want you to get lost in the streets.
Do you really want to do this, Tristel?
That's all very well. I think that we probably want to get settled in the inn first. I would love to play for you all, but we're so tired from our journey.
Of course. Well, we know where to find you, and we'll be right here, keeping everyone in town safe. The dangers out there.
True.
Do we need to be worried about Maven's people?
As long as you don't venture to the back of the city, you should be fine.
Huh.
The stewards they only deal with the old quarter. They don't really have the strength or the numbers to, they don't push out beyond that. We we make sure that they don't overextend their reach. Hard to put an end to them, though, holed up in that capital.
Someone's got to keep them on a check.
Lying on the old ways, claiming that they've got, a divine right to rule. Not a single one of the royal families left, so
Goodness.
bunch of militant assholes, if you ask us. Anyway, enjoy your stay in the Long-Haired Troll. We'll be here keeping you safe if you need anything.
Thank you so much.
The inn is called the Long-Haired Troll. I love that.
Okay, so how do we sneak over to the old part of town?
I'm sure there's someone somewhere who can smuggle us in there.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere myself. I'm really afraid I'm gonna get stolen
Yeah,
and made
definitely.
into a gang lord's personal jester.
Well, as long as we stick together, we should be fine. So even if we go to someplace spooky, let's just all go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I can hold your little bongo drums, and then I'm your assistant or part of your band or something, you know? So
I would
that'll
love
be fun.
that. Ken's bongo drums. You know, Pearl, you should really consider picking up an instrument. We could make such a phenomenal duo.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard with with my hands and everything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Here's a question, because it's been more than a week, and it's been a while. Is it still super warm out?
The duration of the heat wave is 1d4 plus 1 weeks. So let's roll it.
Oh.
It is. Well, I can't tell you how long it's going to go for. However, over here, deep up in the forest, back nestled up against these mountains at a higher elevation, the heat wave is not so bad. You probably wouldn't want to walk around in your armor all day long. We would still, instead of calling for checks like every hour, I think we'll call for checks every like 4 hours. So if you needed to go do something, like you could don your armor and go do it, or you could like find a spot indoors where there's some like cool water and some shade or something. Like if you can find ways to cool off, you can manage it. Or if you don't wear it all day, we can manage it. Maybe let's do it every 6 hours, every half day. That way you can't travel, but we're not, getting wrecked in town too easily.
Sounds good.
Also, Tristel, your health bar is making me nervous. Can you bump that up?
Oh, sorry. We had a rest.
Someone just randomly stabbed you out of nowhere.
Thank you. I tripped.
The innkeeper here at the long-haired troll is an old gentleman with a long, wispy beard and a curled up, sort of like pointed mustache. He's got a nice blue little newsy cap on and a tight leather coat, like suede leather coat. Looks pretty nice and dapper, and he's got his stuff together. He's got a little bow tie and, looks sort of formal. Looks way too formal and well put together for a backwater rundown town like this. He's got to be fairly old. And he welcomes you with a gentle voice. Come, travelers, welcome to the long-haired troll. Unfortunately, we only have 2 rooms available, but there's stabling out back for your animal. Rooms are 5 silver a night, including breakfast the next morning.
Very
Meals
nice.
are separate. Stabling is a silver.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
How long will your stay be?
Oh,
That's a good question. So, are we
Couple
saying
days, probably.
what?
Couple days, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Splendid. And 1 room or 2?
How many beds are in each room?
1 large bed for each room. You could easily fit 4 people in it.
Probably 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Might be better.
Slumber party.
Splendid. The gentleman will quickly take you to your rooms, hand you each a small key on like a little wooden toggle that's sort of awkward, so there's no way you're going to forget about it. It doesn't fit in your pocket particularly well. And he tells you that you can pay up in the morning after you've had a nice long rest, and he'll stable your llama for you out back.
Nice.
The common room here has many people in it. There's maybe like 20 or 30 people all hanging about, chatting. Some people are taking meals, some are resting. Lots of tall glasses filled with water being passed around.
Can we? Can you tell by the looks of the crowd? Like, is there clear like, here's this gang, here's, different groups of people?
You can definitely. There's some folks over here that clearly look like they're part of the Tigress clan. There's 4 of them. They're seated at a table. They've got clubs at their sides, and they have that sort of arrogant, like, I'm in charge sort of attitude about them. And everyone else gives them a little bit of space. Everyone else looks like they're maybe ordinary people. Maybe they're just here for drinks in the afternoon. Maybe they're, like, staying here permanently. But they're hanging out and socializing much more, while those 4 people all have their backs to the wall, and they only take up half a table, and they make sure that they can see both entrances, and they're sort of alert, but, like, that cocky alert. Like, yeah.
This is my turf.
My home, yeah, exactly.
Wow. I don't like these fellows.
I mean,
They're-
yeah. They seem to be in a very strange relationship with their neighbors.
Definitely.
Which I guess we are as well at home with our neighbors. Are we the old guard? Are we the Maya clan, and we're not letting the new Draconians into our town?
Pulling ourselves up on our pulling our ladders up,
Yeah.
things like that. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that they're the good guys.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting. They said that none of the royal family survives. We didn't receive clear intel on whether or not the prince was alive, but sounds like that may be a no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really hoping it would be easier to meet Maven and talk to them, but it seems like they're kind of hard to reach.
Yeah, well, it's time to sneak north, I think.
Do you think we have to sneak?
Probably
Don't you
not.
think it's like possible to enter as just visitors, or
Could probably do a roundabout way to not alert the Tigress clan that we're heading that way.
possibly? Yeah.
Make sure we're not being followed, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Try and find the territory border and cross the no man's land.
They have to accept.
Do we
trade,
know? Do we know if there's like a curfew or anything?
right? I guess we don't.
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah. So maybe not.
Well,
time
you
is
could
it right
ask,
now?
is what I'm saying.
Oh.
It is. Let's see. We're in the springtime, near the end of. No, actually, we're near the middle of spring.
Wait, spring? I thought we were at the end of summer.
Summer.
Summer? Oh my god. Are my days off? I think I'm going crazy here. No, I thought we were in. No, we're in summer. We're in summer. Why?
Because even though we're in the southern hemisphere, shit's fucky. And
Right. You know what? I think we actually must have just passed into spring. We did. I'm sorry, autumn. We just. That was on the 23rd of September, and here we're on the 9th of October. I missed the transition, unfortunately. So early autumn. So we are shorter days now. So it is just like an hour before dark. It's like 4:45, 5 o'clock, that time. And it gets dark around 6:30.
I think maybe we can spend some time just to scout the area out, like walk around town casually, and
Yeah.
just see what the situation looks like. Like how gated are these two communities? Like, are there,
Right.
can citizens sort of freely pass, but there's like guards checking you, or is it like a drawbridge that is like closed and nobody can even access this other half?
Right.
I guess that would be a good first step. Otherwise, I guess we shouldn't do too much this night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with scouting.
Drop off your llama, Are you going to carry all your weapons and your gear and all your stuff through you, or are you going to leave some of your stuff behind? The only reason I ask is that when you're in a town, a civilized town where there's not a lot of people, if you wear armor or if you carry weapons or if you've got like big packs, it makes you stand out more. If you were to walk around like a normal person without any weapons or armor or bags, people wouldn't think twice about you walking through. You'd just be like a random citizen that they've never seen before. But if you've got like, I've got my sword, I've got my shield, here's my chainmail, and my two friends have these big backpacks, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
But then you've got all your gear with you, so what do you want to do?
I think the only thing that'll bring with is my sword.
Okay. Leave the bags behind, leave the armor behind. Just carry a sword just for protection. That will definitely reduce your visibility. Someone might, note that you've got a sword, but if you're not making a big deal out of anything, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal.
I mean, I
There's
look
people
pretty
walking around with
strong and guard-like, so one might assume that I'm like a guards person for...
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So through the town we go.
Yeah, I think I will do about the same. I mean, I will have my coat
Yeah.
and my hood, but I don't know if should I keep my staff around? Maybe I should just like pretend it's my walking staff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's that suspicious of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to keep my lyre, but I do want to make an effort to conceal it on my person.
Okay. How are you going to conceal it?
Well, I have a disguise kit, so I don't know what that entails, but if, like, any type of jacket, cloak, kind of keep it under. Typically, I keep it out, like, on my person, because I want to be able to access it quickly, but I don't want to necessarily access it quickly now, and I don't want it to draw too much attention to myself, so just like a cloak.
So you've got like maybe a weird lump underneath your your jacket or something. That's fine. Yeah, it might look a little bizarre, but it's not going to be, cray. Cool. Very quickly, you'll see that there is one main boulevard that runs through town, and as you walk down it, you'll see deep on the other side of the town is another ringed wall, another semicircular or fully circular wall with its own set of guards, and it looks like there's just this boulevard that goes to what must be the old quarter. You can walk down it, and there's a well in the middle of it on one area, and there's all these other streets that branch off of it. The road work here looks well made and well organized, well laid out. Like, you've got the main road with then spokes coming for easy travel, and the spokes have like nice big boulevards with smaller streets and alleys that go off of it. Seems to have been built with like an intelligent design behind it, not just sort of created organically and sprawlingly. There's a lot of homes and shops and people doing things, but you also pass a lot of ruined areas. One section of town in particular on the east side is just like flattened and leveled, and you can see areas where the cobblestones nearby have been like destroyed or like pushed into the ground by something very heavy. Like maybe a fifth of the town on the east is just ruined, and then other areas near it show fire damage and other signs of wear and tear. Overall, the town has seen better days, but it doesn't have that like overpopulated, sickly feel to it.
Okay.
Do we see any people like walking in or out of the sectioned off area, or the inner part, I guess?
You will see a small line forming at the portcullis leading into the inner section of town, and you will see heavily armored guards with like uniforms and colors that have seen better days standing and interviewing each person going into the inner section of the old quarter.
Yeah, I think if we just be honest and be like, we are magic users with important magic information from Maven.
That might be a good idea.
Seems-
Yeah.
Cool. So just down the streets of town?
Yeah, we should probably do this. We should probably do this the next day, right? Not tonight.
Maybe, yeah.
Or should we do it tonight?
Why not? It'll be fine.
I guess we can do it tonight.
I don't see a reason why not to. I kind of want to eavesdrop a little. Like, what are some of the like reasons that people are giving to like make passage into that section of town?
Just like hang out near the line and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get up, you can walk right up to it and hang out at the back of the line and listen to what's going on, and someone will, wave to one of the guards and say like, "Hey there, Janet, just going in to see Grandma blah blah blah," and Janet will be like, "Oh, hey Jacob, go on, see your grandma, I know who you are," and like wave them through. Someone else will be bringing in a shipment of beer that's being produced out here, and they'll have to like pay a couple of silver in fees for each barrel of ale that they're bringing in on a cart that's being pulled by them and their family. Someone else says they're going to get water from the lake back there, and they have a whole bunch of like empty barrels on a cart that they're going to fill up with water, and so they have to pay like a separate fee to fill up the barrels with water. It appears to just be sort of a regular gateway with normal people, seeing friends, seeing family, doing business. There are people leaving who are also being like questioned as well, but it's more of like, it's not so much like why are you leaving here, but it's just a quick look to make sure that they're not smuggling anything in or out. There's like a what's in the basket, and the person opens the basket and it's like, oh, here's the remnants of our picnic that we were having down by the lake, and they get waved through. Or someone else comes through and they've got a cart filled with hay, and the guard stops them for a moment and asks like, usually hay gets imported, not exported. What's with the giant pile of hay? And the person's like, oh, the inn here, they said they already had enough. They didn't need any of the extra hay. You saw me come in earlier with a cart full of hay, right? I'm just leaving. No one wanted to buy it. It's just a bad day. And the guard says, well, okay, sure. But just wait there for a moment. Takes a spear and starts like plunging the spear in and out of the hay, making sure that there's nothing in there that, is sketch, because that would be a great place to hide things. And then taking a look under the cart to make sure that nothing's being smuggled out underneath the cart, and then being waved on through. It seems like a fairly ordinary checkpoint. Yeah?
Customs.
Customs?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's just like customs. Just
Oh, yeah. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, that's all I was curious about. I feel like we can really say anything to get in.
Yeah, I think if we're honest though, might get the guards to escort us or something like that.
Yeah. It's not like overtly strict though, is what I was curious about.
Do you think we could get in just saying we want to visit? Or
I think we could, but I think it's more useful to be honest.
I'm a little bit worried we might give up too much information too early. And that might be risky, or I don't know.
I think
It may
not
be
saying
difficult
anything.
to get.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like it might be difficult to get what we want to do without giving that information.
Yeah.
I think the way to go is to say that we are like magic users with an important magic conversation to have with Maven, and that conversation can only happen with Maven.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, as you're standing in line, your turn comes, and one of the guards here with chainmail and a shield and a spear will look at the three of you, and you've got your hood up, don't you, Pearl? The guard will motion towards you before anything else and say, you there, please pull down your hood so we can see your face.
Okay, I'll just pull down the hood.
They stand back a little bit, very surprised.
Well, I step in and said, they're not a lycanthrope. If you want to test some silver,
I
that's
can see
fine.
that.
Yeah,
I
okay,
can
good.
see that.
You don't want me to
Just
put a
surprised.
silver coin in
Sorry,
my mouth
ma'am.
or something? Or
No, sorry, ma'am. Just,
okay.
a little surprised. Wasn't expecting you.
Okay. Sorry, I have my
What's
hood
your
because
business
people
in the old
might
quarter?
be scared. I don't know.
Understandable. We don't get many half-elves, he says, pointing directly to Tristel, or others
Tabaxi.
here.
Tabaxi.
Tabaxi. It's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the Old Quarter. It's a safe place here. You won't have to worry about any ruffians or gangs. What's your business in the Old Quarter, please?
So we were hoping to possibly speak with Maven. We travel across these lands, and we are also magic users. and it would be useful to trade some information with me.
Some very, very important information about development of magical things in the land that could have grave consequences for the region.
The guard looks surprised, almost shocked, perhaps flabbergasted at this pronouncement. You're openly magic users?
Well, we try not to scare people, of course, but
Like snaps towards some other people, and a couple other guards show up, and he says, "Please give these people an escort to the castle. Take care of them." And looks back to the three of you. I'm sure you'll want to speak with the higher-ups back there, and they would like to speak with you about your magic discoveries.
okay, thank you so much.
And then, with a pause, looks at Ashley's character.
Yeah.
Down at Ashley's sword. You'll have to surrender your weapon at the castle gates, just so you know.
I sigh and say okay.
And you get an escort of 2 soldiers, one walking in front of you, one walking behind you, that will bring you all the way
to the
to
prison.
the castle gates. So the castle gates are also the gates to the prison. It's a very good point. You have a few minutes to talk on your way there. And there's, the guard in front of you and the guard behind you. If you're not shouting or, talking loudly, they might not overhear you. What is the mood on your way to the castle?
I'm a little bit nervous. I guess for me, I'm just gonna try to inspect the situation and make sure that they're actually taking us to someone we can talk to and not just imprisoning us or something. I guess I'm just gonna be keeping an eye out for that while pretending to be confident about all of this.
Yeah, recapping what we want to share with them as well, there's a number of magic related things, but I feel like the threatening bit is the necromancer.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else we wanted to talk about or if that was the most pressing matter.
The overall magic over everywhere.
Oh
is
yeah,
also
that's true.
the big thing, I guess.
Okay. Is there anything that the party wants to say to one another before we arrive?
Do we have a safe word that we can shout where we need to escape?
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's make one just in case.
Oh dear. Kaya rolls her eyes.
What's a good word?
That's not gonna
Innocuous.
accidentally be said.
Llama.
But we might talk about a llama. We're gonna
you're
navigate
right.
around that word.
Alpaca. There's no alpacas with us.
What if they ask about what we're herding in Trog Canyon?
Wrecking my head for random words.
Mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Although that's really hard to work
Mashed
into a sentence.
potatoes.
Oh dear. This is fine. We're fine. The guards are overhearing this conversation too. We'll be fine.
We'll think of something. We can just
Trout.
yes, try.
Ah, I'd like to have a nice plate of trout for dinner tonight. That'll be the sign.
Okay, perfect.
Got it. Alright. The guards will call out, make way as you go through the streets when people happen to be blocking your path, and people will get out of the way of the guards fairly quickly. You'll notice many eyes get cast in your direction as the three of you, now Pearl with her hood down, are escorted by these stewards all the way to the castle. At the castle, there is a slot in the door that is open with a set of eyes on the other side. And the guard approaching will lean in and whisper something through that little slot.
Do I hear
The door
what they
will
whisper?
open. No, the intent is to not let anyone hear. The door will open, and the guard in front will sort of motion in. And there's another guard on the other side of the door who also motions in to the inside of the castle, which is sort of a darkish place. You see areas on the walls where there would be like room for torches or sconces or for, lanterns or something like that, but the lanterns aren't being fueled right now, and there's no spots for the torches. It's sort of a dim inside with only the light coming in through the tall arrow slits. And in this late evening, as the sun is already set behind the mountains but not behind the earth, it's quite dark in there. It gives you that sense of like a place that doesn't have the money to keep the lights on all the time. You look at the guards, their armor's in good shape, but their uniforms are old. They've been repaired many, many times. They try and use the same color of thread to restitch their clothes, but sometimes, like if it's a green cloak, maybe like the green thread is like the wrong shade of green, Looks a little disused, run down. Do you enter into the dark castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they point us that direction,
I'm confident.
I'll come
We
up.
have,
do it.
we have night vision.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
the
bright
guards have to be
to
able
us.
to see in there, right? So I imagine Khyra can also see, right?
Yeah, the guards can see. They all appear to be human. They let you in. They insist on it.
It doesn't look like a prison cell, right?
No, it looks like the entrance to a castle.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay,
Yeah, but
just gonna...
you would know that prisons, you go into the castle to get to the prison anyway.
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do a cliffhanger. Let's go. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's always fine. We'll be fine.
The guards will lead you in and take you immediately up a set of stairs, through a hallway, to a gate, which another guard will be on the other side of, which will unlock, and there's some whispered words between them. And you'll be brought through the like iron gate, past the lock, into what appears to be some sort of comfortable sitting room with a large hearth with nothing in it. There is a skylight sort of situation with bars with glass over the top of it that lets light in through the top, but now it's quite late, and it's getting fairly dim in here. Someone brings by a large fat candle and sets it on the table in front of you with that's already lit, just in case someone's not here before it gets dark. And no one's really asked you any questions up until this point. They've just directed you through the maze of hallways. And now that you're finally here, the two guards that have brought you from the outside tell you to wait for a while. Your hosts will be with you shortly.
Thank you.
And then at this moment, they motion towards Kyra's sword.
Yeah, I hand it over.
Excellent. We'll have to find out what happens on our next session.
Cry.
Neat.
What a traveling episode.
What episode?
Traveling.
Oh, yeah.
Covered much ground this episode.
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be like a really long break now because it's...
I know.
Oh, no.
Cliffhanger.
Oh.
We're out the next 2 weeks, and I'm probably expecting us to have to miss the 2nd of January, because if there's New Year's and there's New Year's plans, I imagine we'll be back on the 9th of January is probably a reasonable expectation.
Probably
Yeah, I think
reasonable.
we will probably be available on the 2nd. I don't know about
Okay.
you, but...
It should be, yeah.
I am
Yeah,
right
my-
now just because I work the next day, so I like to give myself a sane.
I am tentatively traveling that day, or not. I don't know which one.
Right.
Okay, so nothing...
For sure
on
the next 2 weeks.
The 2nd or the 9th.
26th, not gonna have an episode there, I guess.
The week after the 9th, the 16th, is the day after my birthday.
Oh.
Ooh. We'll have to make sure not to kill you on the 9th.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible at this point.
Okay, so should we just say that
Kyra's invincible.
the 2nd of January is a maybe, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 9th
Yeah,
is
hard
definitely-
maybe.
okay. So probably not, but maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
That's such a long wait, though. Wait.
It is an unfortunately long wait.
Yeah,
But it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
hopefully. All right. Okay.
We got
Well
some
then.
plot about to happen. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, everybody, we will be back in many weeks. Until then, where can people find you if they want to find you?
Oh, here on twitch.tv/theacegigma. You made it here.
Wow.
As I don't have my buttons. But there are links below the stream. That's where you can find my stuff.
And where can they find you, Autumn?
I will not be found anywhere except for the queue for Final Fantasy XIV. But if
Whatever.
anyone plays on Midgard Summer, yo,
Whatever
That's
happened to Grey's Anatomy, the game? Is it
I-
still in the works?
yeah, it's still in the works. It may be abandoned just because I really need the break from work to just play video games, and
Gotcha.
that's all.
I hear
But
you. I hear you.
Might get back in the streaming mood in the new year, but I definitely need a long rest.
Mm-hmm. Get those spell slots back. Totally
Yeah.
understand.
So it's-
All right. Well then, catch you all later.
Yeah. Oh, and Thor is gonna take a blood test tomorrow morning, so we need to send prayers to Thor that he's gonna go through this horrifying experience.
Prayers. Damn, are we a Christian household now?
Yeah. Well, clearly, because we're not gonna do any D&D throughout December, so it seems like we are, right?
Thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
Good vibes. Good vibes.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you all next year, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.
I lost the end stream button. There it is. Okay, there we go. Bye.